Hello everyone, this live stream is dedicated to to welcoming all my new subscribers this weekend. I'm here to answer any questions and to engage in healthy conversations and discussions. But before I get to that, I want to thank today's sponsor for this live stream. Miming Technology Company has this inflatable support wedge pillow that was sent to me about a week ago. And let's try blowing this thing up to see how long it will take, because I can't find my electric inflator right now. Whoa. Okay, so OMG, you guys. It was literally so easy to do and took me less than 30 seconds, I think. The seal is airtight, which means no air releases while you take a breath to breathe, and you just need to push this cap in to close it. Push in to close. Okay, great. And then afterwards, to release it, you just pop the flap and push the center button, and that helps release the air from the inside. All right, this pillow was designed for intimate times where you need a different angle, and as some of you may know, every inch counts, and so does every degree. This is super lightweight and of course collapsible, compact, and great for travel. It's only $13, and it comes with a cute dodecahedron dice that has different positions depicted on each face. If you need inspiration on what pose to try, just roll this baby, and whatever face it lands on is your next exploration. I will have the Amazon link available for you guys in the description box below. If you use my code MARA, M-A-R-A, you get 30% off. Comment on this live stream if you do end up purchasing it for yourself, and let me know how it goes. All right. Now we can return to our scheduled live stream. And today I see Ethan says hi. New Man says hi, Miss Mara. Looking forward to meeting with you. Ryan says hi. How are you doing? I'm doing well. I hope all of you guys are as well. SH says hello, lovely goddess. Thanks for your dancing and feet videos. If you guys like more of my dancing escapades, I have a second channel titled Goddess Mara. Go check that out after this live stream. But yeah, I do a bunch of, I dance with a lot of props, and also just like to different music. I like different music, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, Ryan says, can you a task to do? You're asking me to command a task for other people who are new to my channel to do. I can think of a couple. First of all, give a like to this video, and then second and third and fourth of all, go do that to all of my videos and comment respectfully. Autumn says, hey there, how is everyone? Hello, Autumn, nice for you to join my stream. I am a host. I always host a live stream on Saturday. For December, I'm doing every other Saturday because I am posting, in between. So yeah, last weekend I posted a video on DIYing leather gloves, and this week I was going to live stream anyway, but it just worked out that I have a new audience as well. So welcome everyone. I hope this Saturday is treating you well. It's kind of going to be the start to the holiday season, so does anyone have any awesome plans that they'd like to share? I will be headed to Portland at the end, well, 2 weeks before the end of December, so that's going to be my trip out of state, and I'm going to be there until New Year's, and then I will be back in Los Angeles afterwards. But yeah. Also, if anyone has any questions they'd like to ask me, this is an open forums for you guys to do so. Shadow Plays says, hi, guess what? Chicken butt. I don't know. Nice to see you, Shadow Plays. And yeah, okay, let me... do that. All right. Tom says, hello, my queen. Hello. Nice to see everybody on here. It's been a couple weeks since I live streamed. Oh, also the last live stream that we did was talking about finances and how that kind of correlates with my work, what I do, and a little bit about financial domination too, so go check that out as well. Ryan's asking, what is my favorite food? My favorite food, I have so many. I would have to say it's probably, if it's something that I have to eat for the rest of my life, it would be pizza or sushi, because you could do so many things with bread. And what better way to do that with sauce and cheese in every bite? I would probably have to say pizza. Pizza's my go-to. Autumn's asking, do you rent a dungeon space out of state or share a space? So when I travel, I usually have a hotel room or, you know, a place that I do stay in. And I like to play in spaces that really inspire me. Some of these can be, you know, B&Bs or places that friends are not staying in currently, or I do stay with friends. It really depends on what city I'm visiting. But, you know, the thing with dungeon spaces is that you can have all of the equipment, the furniture, all set up for you. All you have to do is take care of cleaning and, you know, making sure that everything goes back to the place that it was stored. So I do a mix of both, but I prefer to play in non-dungeon spaces just because, like, when I do go to somewhere else and I pick a place that inspires me environment-wise, it kind of helps me create new scenes and new ways of playing, because I literally have to use everything in the room or in the space. Shadow Plays is asking, what is my favorite anime? Right now, it's probably Jujutsu Kaisen. And you wouldn't think that, like, an occult-themed type of high school, I don't know, premise is gonna be like my type of thing, but the animation is so good and the effects are so good and the character development is really good, and although there are really powerful characters, there's still some sort of conflict that happens and the plot evolves and changes over time, so I really like that. Wild Texas Rose says, I'm late but new, so cut me some slack. I didn't say anything that would have been like, you're late, but yeah, nice to join. Nice to see you join, Wild Rose. People come and go, so it's kind of a free format type of thing. Let's see, Reza says, hi, how are you? I'm Reza from Iran. Hello, Reza, nice to meet you. kind of like that name. It's got a good, nice, like, sharpness to it. Autumn says, when you tour, are you pre-booked for the time that you're going to be there, or do you get a lot of bookings when you arrive? So I try to get at least a few sessions in order to cover the cost for like booking the place that I'm gonna stay at, and to cover airfare, other sources of transportation, food, and all that other stuff. And then when I do arrive there and people see that I'm actually there through my social media, or they see, you know, partial advertising somewhere, then they'll reach out to me and be like, oh, she's here, last minute, can I schedule something? And it really sucks doing last minute, because sometimes I'm like touring the city and like seeing friends and doing other things, and then somebody's like, can I session with you now? And I usually have like an 8 to 24 hour, you know, policy where you have to book in advance. So yeah. Hello to Plurkner on Twitch. Hi. Saoirse says, hi Mara, nice to see you. Hello Saoirse, nice to see you as well. Alicia says, I found your channel through Soft White Underbelly. Good interview, thumbs up. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. I'm really happy, I have to say, that I have females who are interested in my work and saying hello, because for the longest time it was very male oriented on my chat, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I cater to every single person as well, and it's just really refreshing to see some feminine energy in here. Wild Rose says, me too, Alicia. Yeah. Since you are new to my channel, my live streams are pretty free-flowing. We kind of talk about whatever people ask me questions about, or if we start going on tangents, that's pretty fun too, because we get to learn about a bunch of things. Like, one of the biggest things is like history, and how that kind of like ties into modern day or my work or previous rulers and stuff like that, and how that relates to like goddess energy and stuff like that. So Autumn's asking, do you have clients complete any type of kinks, etc., to build sessions? Do you mean form for kinks? Yes, I do. I have a reservation form so that they, like, especially for new people who I've never played with before, everybody is recommended to, fill out my reservation form, because that allows me to understand what their experiences are, if they have any, interests that they haven't tried yet, what their hard limits are, what, their medical conditions are, and stuff like that. It's really important for me to know all those things, and who they've played with previously, just to, if I'm seeing them in person for the first time, they can use previous providers as references. So that's very helpful as well. The form is also really good for subs who have taken a break, and then, years later they'll reach out to me and say, hey, we played at this time. Maybe things have changed on their end where they don't necessarily like the same things anymore, or have progressed from those things and are now more experienced players, or there's like so many reasons. But I think it's a good way for me to gauge like where somebody is, and in order to kind of get a clue of how I want to play with them later. I don't plan out my sessions, but I'll understand what it is that I'm going to try to evoke in my sessions that way. Wild Rose says, I got my first taste 30 years ago. You'd be amazed how I mastered a bullwhip. Bullwhips are hard. Whips are hard, period. Like, it's a very It's a tool that really takes precision, and if you don't use it properly and like hone your strengths or skill with it, it can really do damage. So yeah, that's awesome that you got to master it. Autumn says, yes, that's what I meant. Alicia says, at Wild Rose, nice. I wondered how many new subscribers she got from that. It was well done. Autumn says, I'm a SF-based SW considering femdom as a new avenue. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I also go to San Francisco. I'm originally from San Francisco as well. So I go back, well, pre-pandemic, I went back like 2 to 3 times a year. And it's a good place for it. I wish I was more into the scene there, actually. But yeah, maybe in the future. The Goons has joined my memberships. Yay! Congratulations! Welcome to my Mara emojis. So if you guys are new to my channel, I have 2 membership tiers. Oh, yay! Thanks! Autumn has as well. Yeah, my 2 membership tiers are Mara emojis, where you get like the Goons and Autumn they have a little icon on my face, and as time goes on, you know, throughout the months and then a year, my face actually changes in animation later. And then you also get access to these awesome Kinky Mara emojis that I've created myself. And the more people that we get to, you know, participate in that, the more that I will make. So that's awesome. My second tier is the Mara Hegao, and that has like foot and leg content, and people can actually request me to wear certain things in my wardrobe and do like small short videos and stuff like that. So check that out afterwards. Or you can check that out now by going to the dollar sign underneath the chat. It kind of looks like this. But yeah, thanks for joining, guys. Autumn says, do your sessions include release assisted or not? I can't legally say that, but I do say, I'm gonna say yes in a general sense. It is likely. Wild Rose says, Alicia, I bet a whole lot more. Autumn says, I heard you were from SF. Let's collab. Yeah! I love collaborations. Yeah, for those of you who are new to my channel, I also create like short films. So go check out that playlist later. I literally do stuff with other artists, or I shoot them myself, which is really, really difficult, but I have like tripods that I use and stuff like that to really get the angles that I want and stuff like that. Autumn says, thank you, understood. The Goons has tipped. Thank you, Goons. Nice to see you. What is that currency? Oh, Indian rupee. Gotcha. Very nice. Thank you for the tip. As Sage says, are you familiar with Eckhart Tolle, and have you read any of his books? Yes, I'm familiar. No, I have not read, but very, very famous author. And he's most known for being like a spiritual teacher and leader. I kind of watched one of his videos here on YouTube about, I don't even remember what it was about. Ego, maybe? But it's really awesome. He's great. I highly recommend. David says, you are amazing, mistress. Thanks, David. Nice to see you on here. But yeah, let's see. I really can't remember what I did watch of his, because I was looking for something specifically, and maybe I could look for it in my history, because it was important at the time. And you know how you find like stuff by accident, or like things just pop up onto your feed? and you're just like, it was probably about, it wasn't about meditation. Maybe it was power of now or something, being in the present. So yeah, that's the one. I'm gonna go with that one. But speaking of spirituality, I think it's really important to also discuss that I find kink to be really, really like strong in the sense of like my spirit and my soul bonding with other people through that. So that's kind of a beautiful thing that kink allows us to do, because relationships kind of have a bond, you know, you kind of have to have two people who are gonna, you know, interact together and mesh in on the certain wavelengths that really like speak with each other and stuff like that. But I think with kink, you don't really need words to do that. It's all about action. Sure, the words are also like insinuating and they're inspiring and they create the mood, but you don't really need it. If you strip that all away, it's all about the actions being done. So that's pretty cool. The Goon says, thank you, Miss Mara, for allowing me to join your membership. It's my pleasure. SH says, if you search for Eckhart Tolle on YouTube, you find a whole lot of his videos. Yeah, he came up on my feed for some reason. Maybe it was because I was watching stuff about like just the present and how we can make the most of our days or something, and then he popped up because he is popular. So yeah. Ice Queen says, I love your feet, mistress. Thank you. Yeah, I take care of them as much as I can, although it's been pretty dry lately here in Los Angeles, so I feel like I have to do a lot more extra conditioning. So unfortunately, Just Yoon says hi. Hello. But yeah, these are really excellent questions though, so feel free to keep asking. I'm pretty much an open book. Oh, and then I also wanted to go over the fact that some people were asking me if I give classes, and I do. I have several like versions of that. First I have consultation, so it's kind of like you you know, kind of converse with me and talk about your likes, dislikes, your experience, and then we kind of can create something for you through that is specific to what you want to learn. And then I'll actually teach, you know, about psychology and how that goes into play. And then if there's anything in person, like, you know, techniques or using implements, I also provide that as well if you are in the area, or if I'm in your city. Yoonjin, Korean? Let's see. The Goon says, you are the most dominant mistress. I will have to work harder to impress you. Thanks. Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of have a strange conception about how just because they're speaking to me, that they should be subservient. But honestly, it's also only after like we kind of get to know each other, or I'm speaking to you, you know, directly, that we establish that kind of connection and dynamic. And another video of mine that I can recommend to you guys is the titles that I use, because titles are really huge in the kink world, especially for like people who like have daddies or, you know, mistresses, masters, you know, all that stuff. And I have 7 of them that I go by, and I chose them specifically because they really resonate with what the work I do and that kind of thing. So I also have 2 playlists that are very important. One is new to BDSM, and that kind of has all the basic stuff that I kind of go through with checking with, you know, new subs and like service, and people ask me if they could be my personal sub all the time, and I'm just like, these are my expectations, and it's really hard work. It's not like glamorous all the time. It can be, and the dynamic can definitely take you there, but there's a whole other aspect of it too that is very hard work. David says, do you do any tickling on your subs? Yes, I love tickling. Oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite things, actually. And if you go on one of my clip stores, I have like many, you'll see that I have a double dom session there. It's a little dim, that one, so that's with a male, and then I have one series with a female as well, so go check that out. Yoon says, or Yoonjin says, I'm sorry if my name is hard to pronounce. It's a Korean name. You're really pretty, by the way. Oh, thanks. It's okay. I hope I'm saying it, you know, not correct enough. Autumn says, do you know anyone that subs professionally? Yes, I do. Actually, that's how I started, was being a bottom, not by choice. The house made me do it. But I learned a lot, and I know a lot of other people who started that way as well and then became dominant or became a switch. You can be a professional switch too, which means you do both. And then, yeah, so I think, you know, seeing what kind of houses or dungeon spaces that are in your area, and if they have people who are available there that work throughout the day to play, that'd be a great starting point. Otherwise, going to classes and seeking out other professionals that have gone through all the steps is such a great way to learn and get your feet wet. The Goon says, Mistress, any online sub-training possible? Yes. During the pandemic, I did a lot of online sessions, and it was great. It's unfortunately not the same, but if you're, you know, far away or on another part of the world even, like, I had to coordinate some time zones with people. But it was still really fun, and it's awesome that I get to connect with people around the world like that. So I do. Go check that out later, dominamara.com. Autumn says, lol, I'm a switch. I just have never known a provider offering submissive services out of concern for safety. Yeah, so the pros of being part of a house is that they literally book all of your clients for you. Usually it's clients that they've seen for years and years who have built their own rapport there. And then should anything happen within one of their rooms, you have like a way to notify them and they will come and protect you, or they'll have, you know, security or the authorities to come in and, you know, sort that out. But there is a certain level of risk depending on where you start, and even if you're in a house, like, there's still risk, so please be aware of that. Yoonjin says, don't mind my bad grammar mistakes. English isn't my first language and I'm still getting used to it. Oh, you're fine. You're doing really great. Bruce says, Vicks Vapor on toenails and working hands cream on feet. Thick cover while sleep should do wonders. Yeah, so there's a really good hand cream that I have used on my feet before. I don't remember what it's called. I really don't remember, but my sub brought it one time and I was like, are you sure this is gonna do its job or whatever? And it did. I didn't even have socks on and cover it, but it made it like a baby's bottom. It was super soft afterwards. So I should do that. Thank you for the recommendation. Autumn says, I reach out and try to network with so many other folks, but no one has ever been responsive. I don't know if it's because I'm independent. I don't know if about the communication. Okay, so that happens sometimes where some people just aren't good at responding. You either have to keep emailing them or maybe it's going into spam. I don't know, but most professionals will have a website and a working email because that's how they communicate with their clients. And so if it's them just not responding, then they're either not working or, not available, for that. But just keep trying. There's going to be somebody there who is going to be able to definitely respond if they are meant to, communicate with you in the future. Stephen Cope Black says, I've never heard of any professional sub-service or getting paid to let someone dom them before, but if it's a thing, maybe I should look into it. Yeah, I've known both females and males and everything in between, so yeah, definitely look into it. It is tough work though, because if you're independent, you really it's a whole business that you have to learn and promote, and it all takes money too. So a lot of people think, oh, you just make easy money. And it's like, no, there's a whole other side that you're not even seeing, that I'm like, if I'm not in the, play space, I am grinding online to see where I can get more exposure to, create new things that'll help promote me. Like, I'm doing all of this back end work. No one else is doing it for me. Nagoon says, thank you, mistress. Let me go and check your website. I will join sub-training program. Yay. I look forward to it. Autumn says, a house. Gotcha. Never considered. Thank you, Autumn, for the tip. Says, thank you for your time. I apologize for all the questions, but I do appreciate your time, though. Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is what it's for. And obviously, tips are super, super nice to receive, and a way that I also help make my living. So it really, every little bit helps. So thank you so much. Stevens Cope Black says, habit, how goes everything today? Oh, but how is everything going today? I thought you were going to say, like, what was the other? Albit. Albite. I don't know how to pronounce it. There's different ways, I guess. I thought you were saying this. Brandon says, hi, Miss Mara. I'm on your live stream now. Yes, you made it. Nice to see you, Brandon. Liam says, I'm not new. Am I welcome? Of course you are, Liam. I'm just saying hello to new people because they've never been on my live stream before, and I wanted it to make it seem like it's open and welcome for that. So, yeah. Oh, nice. Autumn says, she is a full-time escort. Very nice. Yeah, and some people combine the two. Like, I know people who do dom work and then who are also companions. So there's really no rules in this game, and I kind of love that because, like, you can literally do almost anything and everything. Like, if you work for yourself, you set your own rules, your own schedules, like hours and stuff like that. Like, I'm a workaholic, so for me, this matches my speed and, I guess being my own boss, like, there's no one else that I can complain to, or like, if something happens that's good or bad, like, it's on me. Like, it's my full responsibility to make sure that you know, I'm meeting my monthly goals and that I keep working and stuff like that. So you do what you gotta do. And if you enjoy it, that's even better. Brandon says, hi to you too, Miss Mara. Yay. But yeah, I think if SW is something that you really want to pursue, like, start small too. I would say start, like, you know, maybe having a subscription site and seeing how that goes, and that could be passive income or like income that you accumulate over the weeks and months and stuff like that, just posting photos or interacting with fans that way. And then you know, you can see how that goes for you. You can even gear it towards, you know, kink stuff, so you can be super submissive there or dommy there, and you'll draw that type of audience and stuff like that. Autumn says, have a great day, I'll be back. Yay! All right, have a great day too. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, I think it's really important for people to kind of like it's really exciting to want to jump in and like try everything all at once and like really just be established. But I think another thing to remind yourself of is like, you don't want to burn out, so you want to do everything correctly when you first get into you know, professional work. And to do that, it's a step-by-step process. You don't just become something overnight. So have a lot of patience and really enjoy each step too. Brandon says, can I have your phone number, Ms. Mara? So I actually never give my phone number out. I've only, I do texting sessions, but that's through apps. So I usually give my username after a person has purchased a set time with me, prepaid. SH says, thanks for being so open to questions. Do you enjoy wearing sheer nylons and leather shoes when it's cooler out? If not, what do you wear out and about for running errands? Oh, that's very dressy for running errands in my world, but it would be very glamorous if I did that. So unfortunately, Los Angeles is too warm, I believe, to want to wear nylons at all. Like, there might be maybe a week collectively throughout the year that, you know, the temperature is cool enough to even wear that. Although sometimes, because I don't even usually wear pants. Like, if I do wear pants, they're very flowy and thin, or they have like openings on the sides or something in the design. But I don't wear like thicker, you know, pants like denim or anything. So yeah, nylons is even less so. I would wear them during sessions because that's what people really enjoy feeling as a texture component, and obviously leather as well. And I wish I could wear more, you know, leather boots and stuff like that. I have them. It's just it's too hot. I would have to literally travel to up north. San Francisco is a great place for that to happen, but leather boots is a statement there because not a lot of people dress up. It's a very casual town, and so everybody's usually in like sneakers, or they don't even wear sandals up there really because it's too cold, but sneakers and like slides or Vans are such a big part of the fashion up there. So I would definitely stand out wearing leather shoes and boots. That's not a bad thing. Leo says, can I get your fax or pager number? Yo, I never had any of those. I never had a fax machine personally. I think my parents had one as a part of their printer at one point, but they no longer have that printer. That's long gone. And I think only my father had a pager because his work gave one to him before cell phones like were a thing. because he was on call for stuff. That's hilarious though. But do you guys know of the like leet speak? Oh my gosh. I learned this when I was in like grade school or whatever. It's when you're trying to say stuff like, hello, you know, it's like using numbers and letters in code to say certain things. I would do that a lot with my friends when I was here in America before I moved to South America. No, after I came back from South America, because I was in 7th grade, and that's when it was like in, I think. Yeah. Brandon says, please, can I have your phone number, Miss Moore? Unfortunately, like begging doesn't work. It's nice to hear, but yeah, doesn't work on me. So, Florentine says, hello from France, Mistress Mara. I'm a sub, and I very much like your content. Aw, thanks. Yeah, I think I've seen you before on my live stream. It's nice to see you again. Is that Florentine V or Florentine the 5th on your handle? Because that'd be really cool. Well, either way, it's cool. V is a very cool number. Letter, wow. Got dyslexic on that part. Bruce is asking, how did Soft White interview come about? I really loved, so I watched a few of Mark's interviews. I think the ones, and very few only, like one of them popped onto my feed, and I think it was Exotic, who is also in the Los Angeles area. And I was like, oh wow, like the area that he was talking about, I used to work around there pre-pandemic and for other forms of compensation, like not my dom work and not SW at all. It was like for graphic design and stuff like that. And then after that, I kept clicking on the ones that I didn't really understand like why he was interviewing people, but I really loved hearing their stories. And then obviously I went to his page and then saw his main video about why he does it, and I was just like, that's really cool that someone is actually like taking the time to tell these people's stories and giving a platform in order for other people to really hear from it, because you know, we pass these types of people on the street all the time, but you know, society has taught us to like shun them or like not talk to them and just keep walking. You know, we don't want any trouble and stuff like that, but like they're people too, and that's their reality. And I think that it's really, you know, inspiring, especially like the other one that I watched was Marisol, and she didn't even have any tag next to her name, but the fact that, and I think the fact that she didn't have a tag is the reason why I clicked her, also because she's a very beautiful lady. But her story was very like heart-wrenching to me, and I was just like, oh man, like this lady's been through a lot, you know. All of these people have, but like just hearing her talk about it, but like her healing process, that really inspired me. And you know, I told Mark that, and he was like, yeah, that's one of my favorite interviews to do. And I think he did a follow-up with her as well, which I watched not too long after that. And so we got to talking, and that's kind of how the interview part came out, because you know, even though I'm not on the streets, and I have this overlap where it's like it's still S work, you know, it's still something that isn't accepted by the main society. You know, mainstream is trying to use elements from SW to kind of like make stories and entertainment forms of it. So that's how people are kind of starting to talk about it, at least. But I think a lot of people just label kink specifically as taboo, and it's just so much more than that, you know? It really changes people's lives, you know, including mine, in very positive ways. David says, it must be amazing to be owned by you. It would be living the dream. You're amazing. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's like I mentioned, it's really hard work, but at the end of the day, it's like super rewarding for both sides. And I'm a very fair person, and I'm not scared to talk about certain things. So if, you know, somebody is not feeling, you know, good in a certain way, we'll kind of discuss that. We'll discuss strengths and weaknesses, and then usually we'll always discuss the positives, because it's like, what more can we, what more good can we do? You know? Liam says, could I be a professional contemplator? Yes, I feel like that's kind of what YouTubers are. They literally talk about all different random things that they find interesting in the world, and then they record themselves doing that. And people are like, oh my gosh, I've had that thought too. So, yeah. Vlogging is also good, and that's not necessarily has to do with like, you know, travel or food. You can vlog about, there's this one guy, I think his name is Jason Silva, and he goes to places similar to me actually that inspire him. Like he'll go to the middle, he'll be like in the middle of hiking, and like the mountains inspire him so much, and he starts going on this track and thinking about how awesome it is that when you climb a mountain and you're thinking about climbing your mountains in reality, metaphorically, how that relates, and like, etc., etc. He'll just go off on deep tangents and talk about philosophy, and he just has like his little GoPro or even phone, and he's just recording himself speaking his truths to people, and people can relate, and people, or if people just find it motivating, you know, maybe they want to go take a walk in the mountains this weekend, or, you know, lead a healthier life, or see things differently in new perspectives. So yes. Florentine says V, the letter. Ooh, very nice. V for very nice. Weasel says, this is a great broadcast. Thanks for doing this, Miss Mara. Oh, thanks for joining. It's my pleasure. We talk about different stuff, so whatever people bring up and have questions about, or like are contemplating, that is, can be woven into the theme, if you will. Liam is asking, what's my favorite number? So I kind of have 3. And 3 is also a good number, but my favorite number would probably have to be 7 and 4, which is funny because everybody knows lucky number 7 and, you know, jackpot, you know, 3 in a row, whatever. But it's always just been a good number to me throughout my life as well. It's not something that I was like, is my lucky number because everybody else says it's a lucky number. It's like it actually proved to me over time that I was like, that's a good number, you know? 4 is also a very common number in my life, and in Asia, specifically China, it's actually a very unlucky number because it literally, saying the number 4 means death. But I'm not scared of death, and I'm not scared, I'm not superstitious in that way. I also, my Mayan zodiac is death, so I find it kind of correlates very well with each other. I also like 13, just because 13 has been a very lucky number in my life too. Especially Friday the 13th have been pretty good to me. And 10 is a great number as well, because it's just like power of 10. 10 is it's the first number of the double digits. It's like 10 out of 10 kind of thing. So that's the reason behind all of those things. That's probably way more than you guys need to know, but that's why I like them. I have reasons on why I like things. Reconstructed Beauty says, hello, Miss Mara. I hope your Thanksgiving went well, and you look amazing too. Sunglasses, kissing face. Aw, thank you. I hope your Thanksgiving went well. I hope everybody's Thanksgiving weekend went well. It was actually my mother's birthday on Thanksgiving Day, so that was fun. The only issue is when we went out to dinner, she could barely eat anything because they had just a Thanksgiving menu. And she's allergic to a lot of things. So it was very tough to order for her. And they were being very picky about what they could or could not substitute because they didn't have anything else prepped. So I was like, interesting for a very, 5-star place and highly rated place. Liam says, she is death. Shinigami is god of death. Yes. Or a grim reaper. Liam says, I do not possess Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving possesses you. Yeah, so the number 4 is she, or si in Chinese. So same thing, where 4 sounds like death. Yeah. That's, it's really funny though, because I don't feel like this is an Asian superstition, but I don't feel like Asians are scared of death either. They even have like this whole ritual of passing people on, and their funerals, and like possible reincarnation. So I'm like, you guys are just being human, I guess, and facing your mortality, or being forced to face your mortality. Sambo says, hello, Miss Mara. Hello, nice to see you on here. Liam says, we do not do it here, really. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, Thanksgiving is everywhere here in America, and like everywhere you go, there's gonna be a Thanksgiving theme, or on the menu they'll have Thanksgiving, like a tasting texture type of thing going on. Like there's always turkey or something with gravy or stuffing and cranberries. That's like the typical flavors. And then they'll mix that with autumn, so like mashed potatoes, corn, stuff like that, squash, pumpkin. And I know how you feel about pumpkin, Liam. Liam says she is Japanese, but they are similar. Yeah, Japanese evolved from Chinese. Same with Korean. Korean also evolved from Chinese. Jungle Climber says, hi, mistress, smiley face, hello. Nice to see you. It's been a while. Liam says, pumpkin is for soup or art. I think I've only carved a pumpkin once. And it wasn't even a very good one. That was when I was a kid. I feel like I could do a much better job now. I should do that next year. I should do like a themed one. Let's write this down, because I think it'll be fun to do. Comment below if you think I should do a themed pumpkin next year that's like live, or should I do it like as a normal video? Yeah. All right. Wrote it down so that I have that. Okay. Liam says, I used a no-no word. I think that's why my comment just got deleted. Yeah, probably. If you're new to my channel, I have words that are not allowed on on my feeds so they won't show up. So you either have to be creative and like go around that or explain what you're trying to say, like you're talking to a child. Ruby DeCherry says, do you feel that SW should be legalized and protected in the States? Yeah, I don't see why not. It's such a huge industry. Like, it's huge. It's just people don't talk about it because they don't like to. And, you know, it's one of the biggest economical, like, positive economical versions of making money and making a living in Europe, you know, like, and it's working for Amsterdam. I feel like, and since people, some SWs actually pay taxes, it's like, but then they can't register for certain banks and for some health insurance, you know, it's ridiculous because they're literally giving their earnings to, you know, the state and federal governments, and then, you know, aren't receiving any of that back. Doesn't make sense at all. You know, and the only way that it could legally be accepted is if you do prawn, right? If you film it and it's used for entertainment purposes and you put it on a website or have it streaming or like are part of a production company that does it and sells it, you know, that's okay. But live work that isn't being filmed, no, not okay. Which is crazy because I feel like strip clubs are like kind of like the overlapping between those two also, because it's like a legal establishment because it's open to the public, but then like things can happen, you know, off duty, if you know what I mean. I don't know. It's strange, very strange. Liam says, not so much into Halloween, but I feel like you could be a dom spirit using the jack-o'-lantern. Like, how dare you smash my lantern? Now I shall dom you for all eternity. I said unaliving, turkey unaliving. If it's in heaven for a long time, then a purge around this time. Oh, Liam, you have a very interesting way of thinking sometimes. I saw this one cosplay, or like it was a Halloween costume, but I think it was more of a cosplay because she was Jack Skellington, but she was like a sexier one, but still like androgynous. It was really, really well done. She had like, it was almost like a cross between Nightmare Before Christmas and Edward Scissorhands, kind of, because she had like the crazy Edward Scissorhands hair but in white, and then she had the skull makeup on, and then she had like a black and silver striped pin suit that she like redid herself to make it look like Jack Skellington's, but then instead of pants she used garters and like thigh-high stockings, and she had these awesome like finger, like they were like skeletal joints that you could attach to your finger and wear them like a ring, and you can like make them move and crinkle. It was really fun. It was awesome. Radhi or Red High, Rad says hi. Hello. But yeah, wow, that was already an hour. Does anyone have any other? Okay, Ruby Cherry says, thanks so much, and I like your background music. I was wondering if you could tell us about some of your high-end customers. Like, is there any one of your customers important people or with important jobs? Yes, there are actually. I've mentioned a couple in my previous live streams, but I would love to put together like a list of kind of like my favorites, just because, and just because you have money or status doesn't mean like you're automatically a favorite, because there were people, I'm gonna disclaimer this now, that were like really well off, like millionaires and everything, but they had the crappiest attitude, and it was just so unappealing. Like, it doesn't matter how much money you end up having if you can't even like be a decent person, you know, because eventually you're just not going to want to settle and like play with them anymore if they're just going to keep getting worse, or if you can't like stand it anymore. And that's the thing, like in the beginning I used to like put up with a lot of stuff because I was like, I'm new, you know, I'm trying to build clientele, there's a form of customer service here that I need to be providing. But yeah, luckily that has kind of evolved from there. So one of the customers that I've had was he's more of a fetishist. So he wasn't into like the whole dynamic of like, you know, you're my dom or whatever. He was more into like playing and really liked certain aspects. So like textures and stuff. So like nylons, he really liked rubbing that. He loved lingerie, you know, so had to wear that kind of thing. And he didn't live in state in California, but he flew to California often because he has family here, and he owns a plane here in California. So he was able to fly me to different cities, and we would play in different, you know, different towns. And that was really fun because, you know, we weren't limited to the same, you know, dungeon space all the time, or the same hotels all the time, or whatever the case may be. It was very much like, you know, kind of wherever we wanted to go, and what sounded interesting to both of us. So I really liked that collaborative type of thing. And we both are foodies. Like, I love trying new foods, and you know, just the culinary art in itself. And he was very generous and also took me out to experience those things. So I think any type of client that is willing to not just play with you, but also connect with you as a person and then bond with you and your interests is such a valuable thing. But again, clients also, you know, realize that there is value in the person that you are gifting all of this stuff to. So, Liam says, yes, when you zigzag, I'll turn back and sit still, then roll like a ball, then go fly off a mountain like a flying squirrel. Oh, Liam. You are definitely a special person in more ways than one. J. Graham World says, manners cost nothing. Exactly. And, you know, you don't have to have like a super strict upbringing to know that just being courteous and having common sense is a thing. I don't know. I feel like if you were also not brought up with a lot of manners, you'll definitely be able to feel the backlash of it when you go into public settings like school or the work environment. People are going to treat you differently if, you know, if you haven't had the wake-up call yet. Liam says, so can I be a hole of the behind as long as they are new doms? Not quite sure what you're asking. I feel like you shouldn't be a douche ever. Even to people who are being douchey to you, it's just really easier to ignore them. They're not worth your time. Reconstructed Beauty says, question, can a single tail scar? Yes, it can. If you break skin and in a very deep way, you can. Even if it's a light one, a light scar, you know, because scars kind of can fade over time, but they can, depending on your skin type, you know, keloids might grow over it, so you have to be careful. Also, that depends on if the person really wants scarring or not and allows that. I would love to have some scars from a dominatrix. They would be my form of a tattoo and great story when I am old and gray. Sunglasses. Yeah, I mean, I've marked a lot of people in my time, and can't wait to actually learn tattooing so that I can also mark them permanently that way too. Okay, on Twitch, Goro is saying, thank you for spreading awareness on BDSM. I actually have an anti-BDSM suit. I don't know what that is. It's a giant Care Bear with a trillion light quality bulb in the stomach. I have yet to find a dom who can withstand the power of my Care Bear stare. That's kind of cute. I think that's adorable. But it's not about the stare. I feel like it's about the wattage at that point. Liam says, I think I love all those materials too, but I would ask for a cool cosplay, not something boring. Right. Well, you have to find something that resonates with you. Ruby says, that's pretty freaking cool and good points, smiley face. Yeah. Liam says, did you ever give a permanent mark on a sub? I mean, like a tattoo or something on their requests. Not a tattoo, but I have marked them and scarred them. Samba says, I thought you had a Hindu dot on your forehead for a minute there, Miss Mara. But turns out it was a bit of tobacco on my phone, lol. Sorry, random. That is random. The only things that I would probably put on my, I don't know, my face decoratively is probably like stuff that you've seen on my Goddess Mara channel, where there's a bunch of like rhinestones and glitter and stuff, because that's kind of my own self-expression. I don't think I would do that with a bindi, which is the Hindu dot and ornamentation, just unless I was going to a wedding and they specifically requested me to wear one, because cultural appropriation on that point, I feel. Al K, I'll just call you Al, says hi. Hello. Liam says, I'm that weird character. I'm a delicacy to certain people, but most I'm kind of worthless. I just need to find a Liam museum. You are the Liam museum, Liam. He says, I always stay polite even to my most hated nemesis. Same. You know, I try not to be emotional, because I feel like when you become emotional, that's when things start to break down and you yourself show weakness. I feel like, you know, just not giving any energy to that is the strength behind most things. And if you're able to stay civil, they'll even hate you more for it. Stephen Coat Black says, the biggest ripoff I ever experienced was that Fleetwood Mac GPS that just keeps on telling you to go your own way. Finally off work now. Oh, I didn't even know they made a GPS. I don't know. My favorite free GPS experience is Waze, the app Waze. Hashtag not sponsored, but I really love them. And so I'm willing to talk about this. But like during Christmas time, Santa will be there to tell you which way to go. And he'll be like, ho, 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 turn left. I think it's so fun. And I'm also a child still inside. Ruby says, so I'm wondering what is like The most basic, cheapest session someone has got. I know it's kind of personal. You don't have to answer. I'm just curious, what was your quickest, easiest session? Honestly, it was not a session. I think it was like when somebody was trying to book me and then like had to cancel. And usually I have like a cancellation policy, and like they can only reschedule once before they always have to pay a deposit, and their deposit becomes forfeit. But there was a time where this guy wasn't sure if they could, session, and instead of canceling, because he's done that before and he's let me keep the money, I'll have clients that are generous like that, but in his case he was just like, can I just have a phone conversation with you? And it was only like 10 minutes long, which didn't even amount to what my phone conversation rate would be. But it was just like 10 minutes of like saying hi and talking with each other, and it was super meaningful, and I thought that was really sweet, and I still remember it to this day, because I was just like, at that point it wasn't necessarily just about the money. It was like about the fact that he just literally wanted to say hi and check in with me, and it wasn't even a doming session. It was like them asking me how life was, and I was just like, that is so sweet. Because at that point they're just seeing me as a person. They're not, it's not about, I gotta call my dom, I gotta get my 10 minutes of instant gratification and satisfaction in right now. It was like, hey, how are you? Let's have a conversation. And I was just like, so great. Luckily, I still talk to that person still to this day. So yeah, keep the good ones. Stephen Koplak says, as far as having a mark left on me, you could probably guess what kind of mark I'd want mistress to leave on me. Well, I know you like spanking, so probably something on your bum. Liam says, wait, I'm a museum, yet they say your body is a temple. Am I multifunctional? I'm the Swiss Army knives of Liam? Yes, you are. Definitely are. Jay Graham says, have you visited the UK? I was supposed to last year, but then the pandemic hit and I had to cancel. So not yet, but I will be going there when the time is right, because I can be ready and the world will say no. So for now, I'm just kind of going with the flow and seeing how that happens. Randman says hello and salutations with a this and a this emoji. Hello Randman, nice to see you on here. Ruby says, do you do girls and guys in the session? Yeah, I do. I'm pansexual, so I don't really care what gender you are. That's not to say I don't care what you identify as. I respect everybody's identification, but I also just don't have a preference. Like, if I connect with you if we have chemistry, we're good to go. But yes, I do have female subs as well, and I'm really happy about that. I wish I had more. Liam says, wait, no, that doesn't make sense. If I'm the only museum and temple, that's two, so I'm more like a spork. You can be whatever you want to be, Liam. I just mentioned dynamics and titles and stuff. You can literally be whatever you want. Whatever you identify as. If you want to be a spork, you be the best spork you can be. Jay Graham says, London has a great scene. Oh, I've heard. I mean, they're kind of like a big capital of kink, so I'm very interested in seeing how they do things over there. That's kind of another reason why I like traveling too for work, is because I get to play with different people around the world, and you can really see what is the culture there, even domestically. Like when I travel out of California and I go to like Washington or something like that, they're different there. Like, I found that in Washington specifically, they are actual subs there. So that's pretty cool. Graham says, was your visit to the UK work or pleasure? Oh, I haven't been yet. However, I am on Channel 5. They did a Christmas special last year on Meet the Slaves, and I was featured on there, so go check that out. I think it's still up on their website or something. You can Google it. Randovan says, have you ever had or wanted a little person sub? Sure. Never played with one, but yeah, definitely would be open to that. Ruby says, what is your favorite food or foods? I love pizza, I love sushi, and I love ice cream. And I think the thing that I love the most about all of those three things is the fact that they can be super expensive or super casual and affordable. Like, everybody knows what a pizza tastes like, but have you had a really high-end one before? Have you had really high-end, high-grade sushi before? Like, the ingredients really make a difference with how food tastes, and I really love that about food. Same with ice cream. Like, have you ever had real rose water being concentrated into your cream before? Like, that's awesome. Have you had saffron to go with that? Saffron is the most expensive spice in the world. I'm not just saying like the most expensive is the best, because it's not. I've had expensive foods that I was just like, this is so mediocre. Why does this cost this much? But I think there's something to be said with the quality over quantity, basically, because sometimes you do get what you pay for, and paying a little bit more to experience like a type of ice cream that you've never had before is an awesome experience. And you won't be eating it every day, but you won't have to. You could just try it and then, you know, eat it on when it's available, or when you have the means, whenever it's a whim. So yeah. Liam says, I shall be the amazing dragon Pingu. Belgium is kink empty. Sad face. Aw, I would think that Belgium has some. There's always something everywhere, I feel. Gotta be. All right, Korean person says, I had to look this up, but he says, hello, you are beautiful. 안녕하세요. That's all I know how to say. And also, 감사합니다. Liam says, so little person, but what about a giant? Yeah, I've met really, really tall ladies as well. They're called Amazonians, and I met ladies over 6 foot, over 7 feet. The tallest woman I've ever met in person was 7'4". She was like a tree. Because I'm 5'4", and that's literally 2 feet taller. And I was just like, oh, hello. Can you see me from up there? Liam says, quality of cooking is always the most important. A delicious chicken nugget can be made out of the garbage meat of the chicken. Yes, you can eat gold ice cream. That's just ice cream. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, it's your quality of ingredients, and then it's also like the techniques you use to create the best of what you have. Like, I don't know if you guys have watched Epicurious here on YouTube, but they have some awesome episodes where, like, again, not sponsored, but they have episodes on like a professional chef and like a home chef, and they swap ingredients. So like the professional chef won't, like they're going to make the same thing. So let's say it's chicken nuggets, which I think they have done. And, oh no, chicken nuggets was the 3 levels of chefs. So it's like a home cook, a level 2 home cook slash like avid cooker, and then a professional. And they'll just like take their ingredients and like make stuff out of it. But then they also have the one, like I mentioned, that where they swap, where there's 2 chefs and they swap. And the pro will never have their recipe written down. They just have the ingredient list. And then like the home cook will have step by step on what to do, which is really funny. But it's awesome seeing the stuff they come up with. Really love that. Stephen Kovlek says, and yeah, you guessed right. My phone froze earlier, but I'm back. Hello. Ruby says, was wondering what your dungeon looks like. So unfortunately, I'm no longer managing a space. It used to look like, let's see if I can find my, why is it not coming up? Okay. Ah, here it is. So this episode, or this interview, was filmed in the space that I used to manage, and it was 2 rooms. It was like a fire and ice room, and it was really beautiful. It was in downtown LA slash like Little Tokyo area. It was awesome. Liam says, well, there was a kink and fetish cafe that I wanted to go to, who I found on FET, but then by the time I hoarded all my confidence. It was COVID time. Yeah. Liam says, I wish I could have an Amazonian wife. I love tall ladies. I saw that channel. I saw the hamburger one. Ooh, yeah. See, it's good stuff, right? Jay Graham says, do you enjoy food play? If so, do you have a favorite? Yeah, so I've done sploshing. If you guys don't know what that is, I have a an ASMR birthday edition, and that's kind of what I did with my feet. But I love using like food that is already going to be like, that is kind of old, that might be expiring soon or whatever. I don't necessarily like to use brand new stuff because I think that's just a waste. But fruit is always fun. You know, people say strawberries and whipped cream are such a kind of romantic thing, and I think it's really fun to play with as well in person. Watermelon is also really fun because it's so juicy. And it's super affordable too, and it's huge. And then I like, I've done like, so because I like ice cream, one of my subs actually allowed me to do like an ice cream sundae on him kind of thing, and that was really fun. They also really liked my feet. They had a thing for my feet, so I literally didn't even use my hands. I just used my feet during that, and I kind of like did a mini trampoline thing on him with the food, so that was fun. Ruby says, if I wanted to get into doming, how hard is it to make a living at first, and how much can it realistically make? Honestly, it really depends. Like, I've seen so many people like be successful. I've seen a lot of people try it out, and then because they don't see anything within the first few months, like they just forget about it, and like it takes years sometimes to really build a good reputation because there's already people who are in it and the market is pretty saturated. But I feel like if you have a look, like somebody's always into anything, and if you have a look and if you have an energy and personality that isn't out there yet, somebody somewhere is always going to want that and will pay for it. So I mean, I wouldn't charge like top rate right out of the bat. I've known people who have done that and then struggled because they didn't have the chops to match that, or they just didn't have the business model to go along with it. So you have to really do your research, take classes from professionals who have done it. You know, they are going to ask you to pay for their knowledge just because they literally have had the experience and have had to go through it themselves and are probably still going through it. That's another thing too, is like this industry changes all the time. It's not just like, I set myself up and I'm set for life. Like some people can be lucky and really make a living doing that, but like there's new laws that pass that you just can't like work around, or people are trying to find ways to work around, and it's another hassle or a hurdle to jump over. And times change too. A lot of people say that kink isn't necessarily like the subs that are around aren't necessarily like subs that used to be around in the past. Vice versa. Some subs are like, I haven't seen a really good mistress in a long time. XYZ. Everybody's got their reasons, and it's very subjective, but just be aware that there's like this whole other thing besides getting your business together and setting your rates and stuff like that. Okay. Liam says, also, don't you know Pingu? It's the penguin that says newt newt. Oh, no. Clearly not. Anthony says, I lived in the UK for many years, living in the USA now, and yes, sexuality is very different there. Be well, love you. Oh, thank you for stopping by. Have a great weekend ahead. Ruby says, at Liam, invest in what? Oh yeah, because Liam says investing. And Liam says to Ruby, to old space and time, some outfits, some toys like a paddle and the like, and then have the right attitude. Oh, tools, not too old. Oh. Well, also take classes. Classes are a #1 priority, because if you are new to kink, you don't know anything about safety and anatomy and what different implements do, so, and how to use them. So taking a class is definitely what you should focus on first. Jay Graham says, I once did a session wearing a ring donut, lol. That sounds fun. I want to do a session in a pool. I think that'd be really, really fun. Haven't done that yet. Ruby says, at Liam, I see. Liam says, at least that's what I can think of as an outsider. Well, like Mara says, it's saturated. So if you're in a place where there's not much people, like a rural area, they like trampling the field, and then they like you trampling them. Okay. Ruby says, do any of your subs have different DOMs, or they like having new DOMs? It really depends on the person. I think when I was working at a house, there were some guys who only would see one girl, or like only would see me. And then there's other people who literally just jumped and tried everybody. And then there's other ones that only sought out new girls because they like the fresh blood. So it really depends on their preference, and you can't really you can't control it. You can't, there's no rhyme or reason. It's just a person's preference. Steven says, it takes practice to get used to the whole dom and sub gig, but starting out, depending on what your kinks are or what you're looking, what you're into, look for subs into, it may be you might find someone willing to let you practice on them. It takes educational expertise and have to be willing to learn. Yeah, 100%. And the good thing about going to classes is that you'll find people there who will literally practice with you because they want to get better, or vice versa. Like, they want to experience it more for themselves, you know? Ruby gives a sparkling pink heart. Liam says, Pingu is an earthly, no, heavenly treasure. Okay, I need to look up this penguin, because... Oh, I know who Pingu is. Okay, I just never saw it. It looks like an animation, but I've never seen it. But I've seen this character before. It's like a claymation, like stop motion thing. Liam says, in a pool, Marco Polo style. Oh my god, that would be fun too. Russian person. Sorry, I can't read Cyrillic. Or, yeah, I think that's Cyrillic. Gives a red heart with a plus. Here, I'm gonna put in my Mar emojis in there. Ah! You guys get a writing crop. Okay. Let's see. Steven says, yeah, safety is also an important part too. Have established boundaries on what you're okay with, what you're not okay with too. Yes, absolutely. Hard limits that, you know, people are very new when they say, oh, you can do anything with me. I just like shake my head. I'm just like, no, it's really not anything. Like, it's not. There's always going to be something that you're not going to be okay with. So make sure you know what those things are. Liam says, well, why not be a dom with risks attached? You might leave without your liver. You might leave with a lovely day. I guess you are risking it if you don't know what kind of sub the person is, and vice versa. The sub is risking it if they don't know what type of dom the person is, if they're too vague online, or if the dom turns out not to be what they are in person. Oh man, I've heard horror stories about that too. So Freezer says, wow, in the new first thing I read is BDSM. Oh snap, is this your full time? Yes, it is. Steven says, I'd be willing to let someone practice on me if the opportunity presented itself. I'm willing to volunteer as tribute. Oh, what a hard, what a hard thing to participate for and with. Liam says, yes, it's like clay animation. It's amazing. That's awesome. That takes so much work. Jay Graham says, Pingu would make a good plug. I'm sure there's stuff out there. If you guys watch my meme, Mara meme playlist, my latest one, no. Was it second to the last or third one? It's either 8, 9, or 10. I have a plug in there that I thought was a Jesus holding book, like holding like a tray for books. It wasn't books, it was for tacos. Go find it. It's freaking hilarious. Oh man. Okay. Rosa Pinchi? Rosa Pinchi says hi. Hello. Reconstructed Beauty says, question, is your rope work inescapable? Pretty much. But there are ways to tie rope so that so there's two types of bottoms for rope tying. There's bunnies, which are people who just love being tied and they just get super loopy from the feeling. And then there's eels, and the eels are the ones that like to try to slither out and like untie and like get out of the rope. And so for those, the person who was the master who was teaching the rope classes would create false knots behind the person's back and like in places that are hard to reach or easy to reach, and then that person would fall for it and then undo it and then couldn't get out because they actually tied another knot. and it wasn't the knot that they were supposed to get out. So it's really fun. Ruby says, has a sub ever wanted you to make them bleed? Lol. Yes. And that's all well and good if it's like surface, but I don't do heavy blood play. I just don't. That's just not my thing. But I've seen registered nurses who play and they incorporate that into their stuff, so in their scenes. So to each their own. Liam says, lol, Mara in the pool, Marco Polo spank. Marco Polo spank. That would be fun, wouldn't it? You'd want to watch that. I know you would. Okay. Liam says, I will say I want everything, but I have a low pain tolerance, so nothing too painful or skin breaking. I do want to explore all. But pain is a huge part of it. So if you're not into pain, there's like a whole other aspect that is like, you can't do it. Just like I love busting jewels and I can't do that with you because you're not into it. Steven says, you can do anything with them. I'm highly doubtful. Would you be okay hanging, drawing and quartering them, or having them guillotined? Well, I mean, legally, no. But I've had requests for castrations, and I was like, I'm not a surgeon nor a nurse, so I do not feel comfortable with doing that procedure on you. If I was trained, I'd think about it. But I'd also have to make you sign like a lot of waivers. Weasel says, I'm definitely a bunny. Smiley face. Yeah, most people are. Jay Graham says, how do you know when a sub achieves subspace? Oh man, there's so many physical ways, especially with rope. So how I know, and this is what rope people like to call bunnies, they're like, they're getting loopy, and that's when they're like not quite there anymore, and they like start leaning to one side and look like they're about to fall because they're just so into it, or their eyes start like getting heavy, or their toes curl. Basically, it's when they don't have a lot of like cognitive responses, if you know what I mean. Their voices get softer and like they start slurring, and like I'll ask them, especially if I'm tying somebody and if their hands are bound or whatever behind their back, or like I'm tying them tightly, I'll check in with them by putting my finger in their hand. I'll tell them to squeeze because I want to feel like how responsive they are, and they'll just be like, ugh, like barely a, and you're just like, they're in La La Land. But their hand should never be cold because that means that circulation is not getting to their hands. So you can't do that with them for a very long time. Steven says, also drool. I've had people drool on me. And I'm like, hello, come back. I'm not done playing with you intensely. Or I have to bring them back by changing up the textures and stuff because I'm being too nice, and they're, you know, they look like they're about to fall asleep, but that's just because they're just so into the feeling. Okay. Steven says, rather than watch that, I'd rather participate in it. Oh, yeah. I know. Liam says, well, I like the pain, but for me, small scratch is the same thing as a big cut for others. Yeah, it's relative, so it's literally based on what you could take. We'd have to test it out. Steven says the Marco Polo thing, that is... Oh, you're saying you'd rather watch the Marco Polo thing rather than participate in it. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I would think so. Yeah, yeah, this was a really good live stream, guys. It's been over an hour and a half. Are there any other questions, comments, concerns that you have for me today? Like I mentioned previously, I have a new video every other Saturday, and then all the Saturdays in between I live stream. And that is always at 1 p.m. Pacific time. But I highly recommend that you subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you know when I am online, because they're sometimes random. Like sometimes it'll be before 1 or sometimes it'll be after 1 because of technological difficulties. So, okay. Liam says, also I say I have a low tolerance, but I have a very strong one. Mentally low, physically high. Oh. Steven says, no, I would rather participate in it instead of just watching. Sorry if you misunderstood me. Oh, got it. It'd be fun. I would film it anyway. J Grams asking, do I ever make subs cry? Yes, I have. I've made subs cry. I've made them throw up. I've made them cry because of certain different things. I made them cry because of pain, but I've also made them cry more because I've healed traumas. So it's a very great and cathartic release. Reconstructed Beauty is asking, question, you don't have to answer. Is your tribute above or below 5 an hour? It depends. So like the person that used to fly me to and from, their tribute started at 5, just because they had a very intensive thing going on. But I don't have rates on my website because I try to be fair. Like, I don't think somebody who is just into like body worship should have to necessarily pay as much as somebody who is going to like want rope, you know, food, wax, you know, bondage, like all the other things, because that's more stuff for me to get together and prepare, more stuff for me to clean, more like just more stuff, and I have to work all of those things into the session. Now if it's a longer session, by all means, like, great. It also depends on the duration, because if somebody wants to play with me for 3 hours, which that has happened before, this one guy wanted me to just like tie him up in like a leather body bag and strap him down really tight to a leather bed and just leave him there, and then check in every 45 or an hour. I was still in the same vicinity, but I was doing whatever I was doing. Like, I wasn't he asked for a discount at that time because he wasn't financially in a place to contribute like a full on, session necessarily. And I was like, that's fair. I get to still work and do other things and literally just check in on you. I can do that, no problem. So it depends. I know a lot of doms who don't care what your interests are, and they're just like, I'm just gonna charge this, and this is my rate, and you have to pay it if you want to see me. And I was like that for a little bit when I first started, but now I think I'm also a little bit more understanding because of the pandemic, if you know what I mean. Some people don't necessarily have as much as they used to, or they are trying to do other things in their life. I like to keep it open. I don't want to just have like one specific thing that everybody must follow all the time, that is set in stone for everyone all the time. Also, when I'm traveling, different countries charge differently, so I can't have the same rate as I do here necessarily in the US, as Sweden or Denmark or Greece. So you have to take into consideration what the market is in those areas as well. Weasel says, yeah, first time caller, long time listener. Your videos are really great. Thank you, Miss Mara. Aw, thanks. I'm glad that you're here now, though. Liam says, I wanted to ask, why do you premiere your videos all the time? But like 30 minutes before the video comes online. Huh? No, so I think if you're subscribed, you get a notification that in 30 minutes the video is available. And then it only starts counting down to the premiere within the 2-minute mark. And the live chat only records, I think, either when the 2-minute mark starts or when the video actually premieres and the live chat feed goes. Okay. Princessa Violencia says, or Violencia, I guess it depends on what pronunciation. You are so inspiring, girl boss, red heart from a 24-year-old girl over here. Oh, nice to see you. Thank you. I love your name. Your handle is awesome. I hope that my content will help educate and motivate you in whatever you want to pursue. Steven says, my first time taking a wood paddle with holes, I still had jeans and underwear, but it still left decent mark through the clothes. Yeah, wood is no joke. I never use wood on newbies. Unless we have warmed up and gone through all my other implements and they still want it harder and can take it, and I can tell when they can take it, and I'm just like... I had a sub that was like that. It was his first time with me and he wanted hand spanking, and like I transitioned to trying like paddles and stuff like that. He had a bottom that was as smooth as a baby, like a baby skin. But he could take hard hittings. I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is my first time, you know, playing with you. Why is this so difficult? Why is it? I'm using my full force and full arm swinging. But he was like one in a 1,000 type of deal. Liam says, I mean, I got through the kidney stones and the like without issue for years and other things and broken bones and such, and I didn't notice the pain. Good for you. I guess it depends on what bone you broke, because I've known people who broke their pinky toes and they said it hurts, but it's not crazy. They just can't walk properly. And then, but kidney stones hurt. Those ones I know are very, very painful. Or like gallbladder stones. Gallbladder stones are the worst. Amy says, hiya, smiley face. Hello. Steven says, if someone wanted to legit punish me, just have to make me stand in the corner and watch her give everyone else a spanking except for me. That would actually be a legitimate punishment for me. Yeah, I've said that a lot, where people think that punishments are like the impact, and I'm just like, no. If they want attention from the Dom, you literally ignore them. The Dom ignores them, and that's torture. J. Graham says, I had a strong crying experience in a session once due to issues with my partner. The Dom showed amazing empathy and aftercare. Yeah, see, that's great. I have a huge nurturing side to me. Like, I can totally be mean, like really, really mean. But my natural inclination is to be kind and understanding to others. And I can be strict. I love being strict. And I love protocol, but my innate nature is to really just like nurture. Anton says, why are we talking about Scandinavia? Oh, I toured there. That's why. If you go to my travel tours playlist on my account page, on my profile, and you scroll all the way down, the first video there will show me traveling to Greece, Sweden, and Denmark, and meeting mistresses there. Hella swanky. Oh, hell yeah. I love that handle. Says at Liam, it's a YouTube thing. When a YouTube premieres, it's meant to be like a mini screening and allows the creator to chat live with those watching it when it first premieres. YouTube notifies all subscribers 30 minutes before all premieres. Yeah. Oh, and then they said, yeah, what Miss Mara is saying, lol. Yeah, I'm catching up on the live chat. I like to read through all of them and just kind of see what people are saying. I'm catching up. Liam says, I see. Weasel says, I had a gallstone, felt like I'd been shot. Not that I know what being shot is like, but ow. Yeah. Like, I think there's different elements to why you get gallstones, but it usually forms because there's too much calcium deposit and not enough like water or fluids to flush it out, so it stays and then it just hardens over time and it keeps on like creating layers and layers and layers. And my grandfather had it and he had to have the operation because it was just too painful and to eat, to sleep, to anything. And they found the whole, like, I don't even know if they took out his whole gallbladder because it was full. It was literally full of stones. And I was like, dude, I don't know. You got to change your diet or drink like a lot of water, man, because how do you do that to yourself? Like, you guys have been watching me. I've been hydrating this whole time. Well, I am talking, but it's also very dry and just, I even have a picture next to me. Here's some ASMR for you guys. Wait, maybe I need to do it over here. Side note, I also have an ASMR playlist. Go check that out too after this live stream. Okay. Liam says, I had those gallbladder stones for more than 3 years, every week a whole night on the bed just in pure agony, but I managed to survive, so spanking would be manageable. Yeah, but that was like how long ago? People get soft if they don't get spanked often. Unless, like I mentioned, you have a leather butt and you can take anything. Reconstructed Beauty says, thank you for answering. Mostly rope work for me. Working out past trauma. That's what I'm looking for. Ooh, yay! I love that. It's one of my specialties. I call it energy work because I feel like I have to kind of put somebody in this space and I know it's going to be triggering for them, and we just have to make it very safe for them and do things very slowly and at their own pace. And at that point, it's kind of not even about me, it's about them, and it's about how to transform them as a person. So, energy work, light work, that's what it is. Weasel says, calcium is one. I have the other reason, genetic, due to cholesterol. Took out the whole gallbladder, just like your grandpa. Yeah. Actually, my mom has high cholesterol too. My grandmother on that side also has high cholesterol. Ugh, I should watch out one. Because I like eating eggs a lot. And eggs have high cholesterol too. But I guess if you exercise a lot, it should be okay. And like I said, hydrate, take care of yourself. It's a balance. Hella Swanky says, I can tell you have an inherent nurturing side. I absolutely love how inclusive you are. It's not something I see a lot from folks. Thank you for how deliberately inclusive you are. Oh, yeah, it's my pleasure. I think it's also because from my childhood, I wasn't necessarily included in everything either. I did go through racism. I went through sexism, like a lot of prejudices, I feel. But those kind of made me understand like people like all types. And this profession has made me understand people to its widest range and extent. And I think it's just so interesting that like people can react to others based on how strong their opinions are, you know, and how they were brought up. Like if they were brought up in a narrow-minded type of situation, like it's just not going to be easy for them to open up unless they go through like an actual life experience that will change their way of thinking, or they'll meet someone who is going to help them do that, like you know, establish a relationship like that. And that could be a lover, a dom, a priest, like you name it, mentor. So yeah, I don't think anyone should be excluded from anything unless they prove otherwise. But that's on them. Liam says, I killed my mind myself probably. Ironically, due to too much drinking. They said it would keep happening in the close future, so they just took it out. Oh. So I'm I'm baby soft person. I'm a baby soft person. Thank you, Stephen Co. Black, for the super sticker. That one's a cute one. I haven't seen that one yet. It's a flying pear. No, wait, it's a flying bird. Wait. It's a flying creature with a sweatband. Reconstructed Beauty says, I took 101 times with a wood paddle. I know this because she made me count the hit. I wore out her arm. Yeah, I make my subs count too, and it's a great game to play because they sometimes miss or make a mistake. They miss a number, or they repeat a number, or they totally count another number. And I was like, we're starting over. Hella Swinky says, oh yeah, gallstones, the absolute worst. My pain tolerance is bananas thanks to my genetic disorder. Hella painful chronic illness. Gallstones pain was so severe it made me pass out in my dorm room. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad you're okay now. It's no joke. Like, it really isn't. Steven says, speaking of ASMR, I'll tip to see you stomp your feet in those leather treaded boots you wore about 8 minutes and 40 seconds into your high heels and dominatrix footwear ASMR video. Oh my gosh. You're gonna make me go find that? Let's see. For some reason, let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay. 8 minutes, 40 seconds. Wow, that's so specific. Do you have that bookmarked? I wouldn't be surprised. 40. Ooh. Yeah, I have those. All right. Let me just catch up on the chat really quick and then I'll go get them. Liam says, the drinking I mentioned isn't booze, it was soda. Also, that is a flying avocado. Oh, that makes sense. Or are you just saying that because it's shaped like one? Weasel says, speaking of spanking, is it customary to say the number, then thank you, may I have another, or is it just TV? So I do the number first, and then yeah, actually it is. I do 11, thank you, Miss Mara. I don't ask them to ask for another. I just keep going until I want to. Steven's asking, have you ever had a sub miscount on purpose because they want to start over from 1 and get spanked even more again? No, I think they actually try, and then I'll like do some tease and denial, or I'll switch to something else, and then I'll remember the number, and then they'll forget, and they'll be like, I can't remember, and I'm like, well, I guess it's starting from number 1. I feel like there are people who would like to, you know, mix it up, but yeah. On purpose, but you know. What's all says, hello ma'am, how are you? I'm doing well, thank you. Nice to see you. Hella Swanky says, apologies if you mentioned this before I joined the live. Any plans to do more short films? I love your concepts. Oh, and are you ever looking for a new crew, or do you have a set team with whom you work? If you do videography, send me your portfolio and your links. It doesn't have to be, you know, erotic or anything. It can be your style. I can tell if you're going to suit my needs through your skill level, and then we can go from there. But yes, I did film something while I was in Las Vegas, which was a couple months ago, and I was gonna release it this month, but I think I'm gonna release it in a couple more months because it'll be perfect for then, and you'll see why. Team Fat Bacon says, hey. Hey. And also, I have a Patreon, and the more patrons or, you know, members that I get here on YouTube, the more that'll help me fund those videos. Unless in the collaborative effort, the videographer is going to just do it, you know, pro bono as a collab exchange. Mango King has a Pikachu wave and says, welcome back. Thanks. Okay. What's all says, finally I could join your live stream. Mostly I had to settle with upload videos. Oh. Well, hopefully they were still entertaining and still good. Liam says, they say avocado is a superfood. Yes, it is. Reconstructed Beauty says, Miss Mara, definitely need to work with you. Sunglasses, smiley face, and blow kissy face. Charles! I don't know what your PH is. Team Fat Bacon is asking, had a good weekend? I am having a great weekend. I was invited to a Christmas party later, which is going to be at a dungeon, so that will be fun. And then I'm also going to film a couple things for my Goddess Mara channel before then. But yeah, before I forget, let me go grab the boots. I usually take you guys with me, but do you guys want to come with me? Let's see. First person to say yes, I'm gonna take the thing. Otherwise, I'm gonna leave you guys here and you guys have to wait. Take us with you. Okay, let's go. I'm taking this one for now. It's kind of dark. This is my living room in my humble abode. And this is the closet that I keep all of my working shoes in, and this would be considered as a working boot, so I will have this these boots. Yeah. Oh look, you could see my floggers and whip there. Hanging on the wall, you know. as they do. And we're going to take them back to the room. All right. I'm going to set this back up like so. And I know Steven asked for or requested stomping, but I'll also put my boots on in front of you guys. Okay. Steven says, I'm addicted to getting spanked the same way as an opioid junkie is to prescription pain meds. Good Lord, that's such a specific, example. What Saul says, this outfit is just perfect, or maybe I should say you make it look that way. Oh, thanks. It's my like cozy, like winter witchy vibes stay at home attire, but thank you. I like this. I had this since college, or university, and it's kind of reversible. So I'm wearing the black one today. All right. So yes, for those who are just joining on YouTube, I have this. If you send tips of like $10 to $20, I usually do like show my feet and stuff because I have a lot of foot worshipers. Hello Swanky says, yay, looking forward to your next project. Oh, yay. Me too. I have to edit it. I still haven't edited it. Liam says, I sadly have to leave. Hope you have a nice time, Miss Mara. Oh, well, thanks for joining, Liam. It was lovely speaking with you as usual. And I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Logan is asking, how often do I stream? Every other Saturday for the end of the year. And then all the Saturdays that I'm not live streaming, I am posting a video. But since I am going to be traveling to Portland at the end of this month, from the 22nd to New Year's, I'm probably going to be posting videos and premiering them instead of live streaming because I'll be with family for the holidays. Hello Swinky says, by the way, I do videography, but it's not my main thing. I'm a producer and was just thinking I'd love or be willing to help where I can whenever you need it. Yeah, like I said, send me your stuff. I mean, I don't call myself a videographer either, but I do short films, so let's see. No, Nardinko is asking, what about the closet that you keep your subs in? It wouldn't be a closet, it would be a basement. What? That's silly. Okay. Weasel says, so many yes. That's good though. Weasel says, those are boots. Indeed. Frank says, do you like having your feet worshipped? I love it. Absolutely love it. I've won an award for my feet. Reconstructed Beauty says, if I have to fly to LA, I would ask 3 to 4 hours and would want to see you twice. Just an idea. Do it. That's what I did with my Canadian sub. He was coming from Winnetka and he was in town for 3 days and he literally saw me for 2 hours every day. And that was awesome. And we also had a dinner date. The first day 2 days we had dinner dates. The first and last day that he was in town because we wanted to kind of get to know each other a little bit more because we had only been doing remote sessions since then. And then also he just wanted to spend more time with me. He flew in with a friend, and then afterwards kind of just did his own thing. And what better way to do that than to spend time with your mistress? John says, hi, Miss Mara. Hope everyone is having a good and smooth Saturday afternoon. Hello, welcome. You are in time for me to stomp in these heels for Stephen Code Black. Stephen, are you still here? I know I'm taking a while, but I'm about to put the phone on the floor so that I can, so you can hear the stomping. Frank says, oh, Weasel says, going to Portland, eh? Smiley face, yes. Hello Swinky says, do you teach/mentor? Not for me, just curious. Yes, I do. I have consultation and also courses tailored to what you want to learn psychologically and, you know, about dominance. And then if you're in the same city as I am and want to request techniques or like how to use certain implements and stuff like that, I also teach that as well. Gerardo says, it's nice to get to know you. Likewise. Watzel says, you have a positive aura, ma'am. Even the music in the background sounds more peaceful when you speak. Aw, you guys are sweet. All right, Stephen Co. Black says he's here. So I'm gonna put this on the ground right here so that you can kind of hear. You can kind of already hear it. I'm gonna have to lift. I'm wearing a dress, so. Ooh, okay. I just want to make sure that my bed skirt isn't going to be in the way. Okay, I think that'll be okay. Tilt this down just a tad more. This is what it looks like when I'm like intimidating guys with my crushing heels. Like you can imagine the stomping. I also like crushing them from the side and the back. But wait, you can see my zippers this way. Kind of. I hope that was fun for all of you guys. Okay. Let's see. All right. Oh, this is crooked. Good. All right. Kenneth says, hi. Hello. John says, cool. Stephen Co. Black says, let me plug my phone in so the battery doesn't die really quick. Oh, man. Okay, Hello Swinky says, nice, hella cool. RE mentoring. Kenneth says, one day are you coming to Atlanta? Yes, that is also on my list. So look out for that. Steven says, okay, I'm here. Well, I hope you caught it, Steven, because if not, you can rewatch this live stream. It'll be posted on my playlist of live streams. SH says, let's not forget the wonderful foot video, what you did with Astro on I Want Clips. I watch it over and over. That's awesome. I love that so much. That's great. Gerardo says, that would make me nervous. I love the boots. Yes, it should make you nervous. Steven says, yeah, I had to grab the charger so my battery wouldn't die. Jeremy says, hey, hello. Jay Graham says, why do guys like leather boots? Oh, I have a whole thing dedicated. I have a whole answer for this. If you go to my 8-year anniversary video that I did earlier this year on answering questions from my Instagram, like I said, ask me anything. I have a whole good list of it, but basically it's like authoritative, it smells good, it looks good, like it's sexy because it shapes the curve of the leg and the feet. There's so many reasons. It keeps the dom warm when the sub is cold, when they're don't have clothes on. There's so many. But it's a good question. I've thought about it myself. What's all has you subscribe to my emojis. Okay, so because I have enough subscribers now to put a new Mara emoji, I believe. I was going to do, so I already had a few designed, but so the next ones that I thought of doing, and I'm not going to show you guys because it's a surprise, but I had like a cross, like an St. Andrew's cross that I was going to put up. I had handcuffs and stuff like that. But since I have a lot of foot people on my channel, maybe I'll create a poll. Tomorrow or the next day, I will post a poll. Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll post a poll on whether or not I should put my foot as a Mara emoji. And that way, for all you foot people, you could just be like, oh my gosh. So, yeah. Steven says, yeah, no problem, I can rewatch. What's all says, just a little effort by joining membership. Hope you like it, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now you can use all my Mara emojis. Look at this. I got rope in here. I've got a leash in here. Got a collar, blindfold, and riding crop. Reconstructed Beauty says, that sounds like an amazing idea. Sunglasses face. Wait, what sounds like an amazing idea? I was just talking about boots. Okay. What's all says, I wish you could put this on me and take me for a walk. I would love to do that. My neighborhood is very lovely. There's a lot of there's a whole row of palm trees, which is beautiful and very telling that I live in Southern California. SH is asking, where will you post the poll? Oh, that's a great question. So if you go to my youtube.com/DominaMara, or if you're on the app, I have a community tab. So there's like the video tab, or the homepage, the video tab, and then there's like a membership tab, community tab, and then an about page. You can find all of my links on my about page. On my community tab, I post daily. I post like different polls. Sometimes I don't even say like what you should choose or like what the theme is. Like I'll just put like emojis and you get to pick one. I'll post selfies throughout my day or like what I'm gonna do next. Like I'll probably post what I'll be wearing to the Christmas party later, or like post a photo of the Christmas party for you guys to look at. So check it out. It's really fun. We get to interact there when I'm not premiering or on live stream. And like I said, I post every day. I post there more than I post on my Instagram. I have like Instagram stories every day. And I post on my Twitter at least once a day, but I feel like I'm most active here on YouTube just because I watch YouTube a lot. So yeah. Hello Swinky says, haha, not a footy, but it sounds hella dope for those who are clever. Glasses, smiley face, yeah. Kenneth says, you look good in your boots. Maybe you can design your own boots. So I posted my most recent upload that I premiered was me designing like my leather gloves and like painting it. Somebody was saying I should do that with boots, and I was like, that's such a great idea. Like, can you imagine I have matching boots with my gloves? That's so awesome. That would be such an awesome look. I just need somebody to fund those boots now because leather boots are an investment. But thank you. Jay Graham says, do you do sissy play? I do. So my short film Transform kind of like represents that. However, it's very misconstrued because the person who I did the film with is actually trans. They consider themselves a trans woman. So a lot of people are saying, oh he, but even though he is born a cis male, they prefer to be identified as a she. So I call her by her preferred name, which is Zoe. And yeah, you can view that here. I also have a lot of photos that I took with Zoe, and also my personal sub on, where was it? It was one of my portrait pages. I think it was was it 2019 or 2020? Let's see. I think it's 2020. Yeah. Yeah. It was February of 2020. So, but I do feminization, full transformation, and role play a lot. So it's fun. Steven says, and yeah, that was good. I rewinded, but yes, as long as you feel it is reason with what I tipped, I'm satisfied with it. Of course, I always give what I feel like is equal. Hella Swinky says, speaking of taking someone on a walk, how do you feel about playing in public? You know, the whole strangers/others didn't consent to participating or whatever. So I think it's okay as long as you're not being explicit. I think it's okay if you're not around minors. I think it's okay if you are being kind of subtle about it, like not calling attention to it. Like, there are some doms who have walked their, subs into like train stations and had them kneel on the floor in the corner. And like somebody actually asked a police officer to investigate the situation. And since there was nothing illegal about it, nothing happened. But I think that there's certain ways to dominate in public. Like, every time I'm on a dom date with somebody, if we're eating or something, I'll always do stuff under the table, literally under the table. Or I will do things like, put my used underwear in certain places, things like that, to kind of like really tease and get their blood pumping, if you know what I mean. I've also done like tribute and a little bit of humiliation in front of an ATM, but I'm not like screaming and I'm not calling attention to it. I've just had them do it. Like, they've had to kiss my feet in front of the ATM and other people saw them do that. So I think there's a finesse and a certain way that you can do it. I prefer doing it in a classy way, so it's not, it's just not tacky, I feel. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like when you see it, you'll understand. If you watch my short films, you'll understand. Someone is saying, let's see, Ace is saying I look like Plains Girl. Oh, well, there's a lot of work that she's done on her face. I am all natural, so. Okay. What Sal is saying, can you say my name, ma'am, and address me as your pet/dog? But we haven't even established any pet protocol with you. I feel like you would have to kind of schedule a session for that, and then we can kind of do that from then on. But I've been saying your name the whole time. I read everybody's names when I'm reading their comments. Steven says, back to what I was saying before, in another stream, I wouldn't demand something like you running 100 laps around the block or around the building in 3-inch stilettos and lingerie bikini and tip bare minimum. Yes, I know. I also wouldn't do it for that. 100 laps is a lot. Jake Graham says, are you talking about the train station incident in London with Mistress Fox? I am not going to elaborate on any long or real-time, I guess, situations. I'm just going to state what I state, and then that'll be the case. Reconstructed Beauty says, Miss Mara, thanks for answering my questions. Much appreciated. I was talking about the LA trip. Oh, yes. Yes, definitely. TMW says, hey, I'm an aspiring dom. Yeah. What brings you to like kink? Or have you had experience in kink before? Hella Swinky says, about playing in public. Yeah, I totally get it. It makes perfect sense. Thanks for answering all of my questions, by the way. Lol. You're welcome. Nardinko says, why are all the greatest doms in the US? No, there's awesome doms all over the place. Maybe you just haven't found out about them yet. Like the ones that I feature on my channel when I go travel, on my travel vlogs and travel tours. Also my Modern Dungeons playlist. Those are really awesome doms. They have their own spaces. They create their own furniture. Very little things that are awesome. That are not awesome about them. Double negatives. Decio says, good night, Mistress Mara. Good night. John says, unfortunately, I've got to head to the store and pick up some stuff for dinner. I'll try to jump back in here in just a little bit if not, you have a nice, good night, everybody. Be safe and take care. Likewise to you, John. Thank you for stopping by. I hope to see you on another live stream in the future. Brandon says, can I have your phone number, Miss Mara? Why do you keep asking that? This is the last time you get to ask that. Otherwise, I'm going to put you in literal timeout. YouTube has a timeout. I think it's so funny that they do, because that's what I would do in a normal Dom session. Amy says, I'm just hanging out my washing whilst listening to you, mistress. I'm dressed appropriately, of course. Pink PVC, French maid's uniform, and white patent thigh-high boots with 6-inch heels. Smiley face. Wow. I love that you do that. It must be like a ritual for you, right? To go through and put on all the pieces. That's awesome. I knew somebody who would do their own ritual as well at home, where they would like put on female underwear and like bra and panty set and pour a glass of Chardonnay and put on my live streams That's how they would spend their weekend. And I was like, that's an awesome weekend. Kenneth says, do you make a video tutorial on dominatrixes? I live in Atlanta. How much do you charge for your services? You would have to RSVP through my website. And I have plenty of videos on my channel. You can go check that out after this live stream. Steven says 100 laps thing was just an over-exaggerated example. Right, but if I took that literally, I wouldn't do it. TMW says, yes, I'm actually a cam model for the last 15 years on and off. Why kinky, you ask? Because I've come to know and understand myself, and I'm just very dominant. However, I need to perfect my craft. Oh, very nice. What city are you in? Watsal says, I hope you visit India sometime. You have a lot of fans here. Maybe then a session could be a possibility, but no worries, ma'am. I'll be your member for a long time. Oh, yay. Yeah, India, I mean, I do want to visit India. It is on my list. It's not at the top of my list, but it is on my list for travel. Reconstructed Beauty says, question, if you were near a city where I am, if I paid for a flight, would you be willing to do that? Thanks. Yes, so I actually have Fly Me To You options on my Beyond Domination page. And the reason why it's not very common for people to use that is because it's very expensive. You not only have to pay for my time to session, but you also have to pay for flight, accommodations, and, you know, transportation would be nice to and from. But all those things add up to a very, very pretty penny. But yes, it is definitely an option, and I have done it previously. As I mentioned, I had a customer who also flew me himself. So, TMW says, I'm currently in Amsterdam. There's a space near there that I really want to visit, I believe. Hang on. I'm looking at the map right now because I know exactly where it is. Okay, so you could technically drive there, but it'll take closer to 2 hours. But yeah, gorgeous space there. Not in Amsterdam, in the city that I'm thinking about. Amy says, it's a ritual for me to get dressed as I'm at home fet cross-dresser. Listening to you is just a bonus. Aww. J. Graham says, I love Amsterdam. Okay. TMW says, is it possible to pay for a Zoom meeting with you for tips? Yes, definitely. That's called a consultation, because you don't have to be in the same city that I'm at for a consultation. You can be anywhere in the world. And I think that is one of the best ways for people to kind of like see where they are and to get more information and stuff like that. And you can find some of the rates for that on my Beyond Domination page on my website. Steven says, just curious though, what is the most unreasonable or over-demanding thing anyone's ever asked or requested from you? I respect your boundaries as long as you're not uncomfortable mentioning it. Yeah, so I mention this a lot, but I really, really, really dislike it when people top from the bottom. And I think it is unreasonable, and I think it's over-demanding, and I think that it's disrespectful. All those three things. And the reason why I think those things is because you're literally coming to me, a real, true dominant, and you're not allowing me to do my job because you're telling me what to do. You're telling me how you want things done. You're telling me what exactly it is you want, what you want me to say. I don't do those scripts. Like, it's a hard limit of mine, and I make it clear on my website, and I make it clear on live stream and through just like talking about it, because I'm no longer a dominant then. I'm just like a service top. If I'm going to have to do everything exactly the way that you want, or how you want, or saying the things that you want. If there's a specific phrase that triggers you, that's different, because then I get to pull that out whenever I want. But if I have to do it while I'm spanking you at a 45-degree angle in the corner on a blue cloudless day on the rooftop of, you know, a specific building, that's not gonna happen. You know, yeah. I would do some of those conditions for a very high price, but not all of them, and definitely, you know, would have to be in the mood for it. So, yeah. What Saul says, Indian subs be like, color. And I would be like, leash. Jay Graham says, I'm watching your stream and my dog has just sat next to me to see who's speaking. Oh, hello, puppy. I hope you like my voice too. TMW says, okay, I will definitely have a look. Awesome. Looking forward. They also say, yes, I hate that. I can't with the commands. I know, it's like, I get that you want to submit, but it's not really submitting. You're literally just bottoming and having somebody else like reenact your wishes and your scene for you. And some people are okay with that. You just need to find somebody who's going to do that for you. I'm not the person though. Dre Graham is asking, what is the boundary between a session request becoming topping from a bottom? I think it would be, like I just mentioned, like telling me how to say things, when to say them, what exactly they like. They're literally writing the whole like scene for me. And there's no room for my creativity. There's no room for me to do what I want to do in the scene. Like, if you're telling me what excites you, I'll take those things into consideration, and I will weave certain things into the scene, but I'll do it my way, and I'll do it when I want. Because that's what you're paying me for. That's what I think would be the fair exchange. So that's what I think. It's a personal opinion though. It's very subjective. Okay. Hello Swanky says, if a voyeur wanted play with a book, how would that work? I imagine getting consent from perhaps an exhibitionist who already plays with you, or is it bring your own exhibitionist, or am I way off? Oh, you're asking if a voyeur wanted to play with or book. Wait, book you? How would that work? Are you asking like if they just wanted to watch what's happening? Then I would find one of the subs that are okay with that, and you would each tribute me for bringing that together, and then we go from there. Because some of my subs love to be filmed, and you can find that on my clip sites. As SH brings up, your I Want Clips site seems to be frozen. Is there another video that you can get the Astro thing? Yes, my Clips for Sale site. I can't post that on here, but if you look me up, I should be on there. My Twitter has all of my links. My Instagram has my link tree, which you can find that on as well. So go check it out there. Hella Swanky says lol with a laughing face. Amy says, would love if you are up for trying on another pair of heels right now if you're okay with it. A stiletto style high heel if possible. Let's see. I do have the one that I use in session. It has they're leather stilettos. But yeah, go ahead and send me a super chat or super sticker and I can change out of these and put those on. They're also 6 to 7 inches, so we can be matching. Jungle Climber says, hi again, mistress. Permission to smell your feet, ? Are you gonna send me a super chat or super sticker or apply for my memberships as well? Because then I'll command it, I guess. Or I can do it while I change my shoes out if Amy sends me a super chat or super sticker. Patricia says, I just saw you on Soft White and came right over to check out your channel. Oh, hello. Yeah, I've been streaming for like almost 3 hours now, you guys. Oh my goodness. I usually just stream for 1 hour. It really depends on like how the conversation's going, but I've been having so much fun getting to know all of you new subscribers, and it's been really awesome. I think yeah. Please check this live stream out again after we wrap, because we spoke about really good stuff. People asked awesome questions. So come back. And I hope you love, and thank you for watching the interview. Vatsal says, I really wish to say through your platform that most subs don't really find peace with normal relationships, and in fear they don't open up, the how society will react. This mentally should change. I feel like slowly it is, but in countries like India or like Asia, it's not really generally accepted. I feel like in the US and the UK, people know it's there, and if there's a way to create some sort of form of education or entertainment from it, they'll allow it, but it's still pretty like niche. But I agree. I mean, that's why it's called alternative lifestyles, because the alternative part is like very, very different. It literally means a different direction from, you know, what people are normally used to or conditioned to be a part of. Kenneth says, you are a cool lady with a great personality. Oh, thank you. Hella Swinky says, my apologies if a voyeur wanted to play with you or book you. I'm unsure about the terminology. Yeah. Okay. I think I addressed it. Let me know if I haven't. Wasn't sure if it was still considered playing with you if the voyeur's just watching. Yeah. But you still have to tribute. Okay. TMW says, lol, money talks, subs walk, lol. It's true. The subs walk only if the money talks, really. Adam says, hello, Mr. Mara, new subscriber who enjoys your content and respects your knowledge and kindness. As far as scripted scenes, completely agree. In some ways, it makes the dominant a submissive. It just changes the dynamic, because I feel like for a true dominant to really be able to, kink is a form of expression for the dominant. And so if she's not, or he, whoever, is not able to, you know, guide a scene in their way and their manner, you're literally killing their style and cramping their, there's no other word than creativity, really, because they literally have to come up with the scene, and it's on the fly. It's based off of how they're feeling, how they're feeling their dynamic is with the submissive, and you know, if there's going to be progress, like, are they going to turn up the volume, turn up the intensity on certain things today? Do they have to back down because, you know, the sub is not feeling 100% that day. You know, you really have to check in with each other and see where you are. Like, I always, no matter how long I've played with you, I always ask, like, how are you today? Is there anything different in your life that has changed? Like, one time I was shocked that one of my longtime fetishists, if you will, suddenly had a child. I was like, that's a big moment for you. And that really does change our dynamic a little bit, because they're a new father and they have new expectations for themselves. They weren't sleeping a lot. They didn't see me as often as they used to. So there's all these things, you know? Jay Graham says, I love you. Your warm demeanor. It's difficult to imagine you stern or angry. Oh, you just have to get in the room with me. Yeah. Steven says, hi, Patricia. Welcome to Mistress Mara's channel. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Hella Swanky says, I wasn't sure if the voyeur would orchestrate everything, hence bringing your own exhibitionist, or if you would set it up and they would just show up with a tribute for you. My apologies for the confusion. Oh, no, a voyeur is literally a person who's watching. A voyeur doesn't have any power. A voyeur doesn't have any, you know, no, that's not true, because I've had a voyeur who wanted me to bring in a female sub, and I did. And his preference was, he loved barehanded spanking. He loved like the mommy dynamic. So I took on a mommy role, and that was more disciplinary and strict. And her only role was to say yes, mistress, no, mistress. And he didn't say anything. He just told me what his preferences were. And then I kind of just like did the scene for him there. And at the very end, he joined in just because it was for fun. And I obviously asked the sub if she was okay with that. And I already told her there was a possibility of that happening, and everything was all well and good. So I think that can work. Yeah, that has definitely happened. I didn't label him as a voyeur, so that didn't come to mind when you originally asked. But now that you've posed the situation like this came up and I remembered. TMW says, yes, I'm from Soft White as well. Yay! Hello, hello. Gerardo says, it was a great interview. Aw, yay, thank you. I have a whole interviewing playlist that goes from like how I started and all of the like kind of twists and turns in life that took me to where I am today. So go check that out afterwards. You can see the difference from when my very first interview to, and they're in chronological order for that reason, to like my latest one, which was like, I try not to do too many interviews that are going to be like, how did you start and blah, 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 because it's always going to be a similar story. Right now, I'm trying to get interviews that are going to kind of branch out into more generic, like SW or laws or my artwork and stuff that I'm branching into, like all my other interests that I'm kind of like expanding in, so that the interviews also grow with me, if that makes sense. Sad Communist says, have you ever been to Brazil? Yes, my father is born in Sao Paulo. I lived there for 2 years, and my dad's side, part of his side of the family is still there. Reconstructed Beauty says, Miss Mara, thanks again for answering all my questions. I need to go. Have a great weekend. Thanks for stopping by. It's great seeing you. Please come back. Come back soon. Gerardo says, I'm a new fan. Love your attitude and energy. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys watching and being here. What Sal says, I love your smile, ma'am, but I guess subs aren't allowed to make eye contact, or is it okay? Technically, I can't see you, so I'm pretty sure it's fine. And if we're playing and I have a protocol, I'll let you know. Hella Swanky says, yep, you answered my questions. Just wanted to clarify and confirm that you did, since the original question was worded so awfully. Thank you again. No problem. Black heart, this emoji, and glasses. Smiley face. Amy says, if I was able to give you money, I would, miss. Just unfortunately, I can't right now due to financial circumstance. Sorry. Hoping since I'm a long-term subscriber, you might cut some slack right now. Not for things that I have to get up and go and do myself, unfortunately. Not at this time. Patricia says, thanks. You're welcome. Hello Swanky says, cool, thanks for the bonus info. You're welcome. TMW says, yes, it was indeed an awesome interview. Thank you. What's all says, I know it might be cliche, but I think I'm in love with your smile. Keep smiling. Thanks. I mean, it's not that cliche. Most subs are like, I love your feet, or I love your hands, or something. So my smile is very nice to hear. It's refreshing. St. Charles says, how do I get those blindfold, rope, leash, and collar and crop emojis into my text? You need to become a member. If you go to the $sign box under the chat, my membership tiers will come up, and it says membership, join membership only access to this channel. And I have 2 tiers. I have my Mara Emojis one, that's my basic one. That one will come up with loyalty badges. You'll have your name highlighted, and my face will animate as long as you are a member, forever, for how long you are a member. And then you also get access to all my Mara emojis. And then the Mara Hegao tier is for those who really love my feet and my legs. Steven says, at Amy, if I recall, minimum tip amount for something like that, what I tipped is only $5. That's not a lot for me, but I understand and respect if it's harder for others to come by. Yeah. Well, $5 is like showing my feet, but then changing into other stuff is like, 10, 20 and above. So Steven says to Patricia, I know this is a bit off topic, but are you familiar with the Resident Evil series? When I see your name, it reminds me of Alfred and Alexa Ashford in Resident Evil Code Veronica X. SH says, thanks for your cosmic music meditations on YouTube. Yeah, I was gonna continue doing that, but I got so busy doing other things that's kind of what I have so far, but I'm glad that it helps you. It's very soothing, and I really liked choosing the visuals that went with the videos. So Adam says, thank you for your insightful responses. I sometimes think fear is what causes someone to top from the bottom. Having been on both sides of DS, I like a modicum of unpredictability and creativity. Yeah, so I think it could be fear, but I think it's also just like, there's a certain type of person that does it. And I think it's just, I don't want to pigeonhole it, but a lot of the ones who are, I find, are lawyers. So they are used to scripts, they're used to the law, and they're used to just, I feel like having things their way because that is how their profession structures them to be. And so for them to come up with scenarios, because they have to predict how scenarios go in court. And so for them like figuring out how they want a certain scene to go is like very much the way they think and how they've trained themselves. Like on my clip store, I have a judicial caning, and that one was a little scripted, but I didn't mind it because it was a punishment for something that he did and something very drastic, and he was able to take a lot of it because he's a masochist. And so in that sense, although it might seem a little too scripted at times, I was able to come up with my own wording. I was able to come up with when I gave the punishments, how I gave the punishments, how hard I gave them. So to me, that's not necessarily topping from the bottom. That was like him telling me, hey, this is what I like. Go for it. What's all? Thank you for your tip. It says, can you say something on making me your pet, ma'am? Yes. I can. And I can just be like, you're a good little puppy. What's all? Good boy. Sad communist says, would you say femdom is a natural feminine dynamic? Because I feel like there's something very natural and feral to it, you know what I mean? I think there's more female submissives than there are dominants, actually, because I think there are a lot of females who are conditioned to be in service, period. I think if the dominant part starts coming out, that might be them growing older. Like when a girl is very young, she always has to do what like mommy and daddy said, right? And so she's used to having mommy or daddy as the authoritative figures. So that translates really easily to kink and play. I think when you get older and you're no longer a girl, you become a woman, a more maternal instinct comes in, and like a mommy figure comes in. And so like you become stricter, you don't settle for things anymore, you want rules for things, structure, order. And I think that translates really well. So maybe the sub becomes a switch, or maybe she becomes a full-on dom because she's like, I'm not taking that anymore. But now I know what it feels like, and now I can give it to other people. Kenneth is asking what my favorite anime character is. Oof. That's gonna be one that I'm gonna have to catalog through. I have like one for every single like thing. Like there's one that I'm watching that is she's like just super cute, and I would love to have her as my submissive. But then there's other ones where it's like I can really relate to as a person and as a dom even. So I'll just tell you the one that I would love for her to be my sub now. What's her name? Okay, so the series is Kaguya-sama Love is War, and I love the pink hair girl. Oh, what's her name? Oh my gosh. Her name, yes, is Chika Fujiwara. Yeah. She's just so adorable and cute, but she's like smart too, and she's like Cupid. I don't know, there's everything about her that I was just like, I would love to tie her up. Sad Communist says, oh no wait, I read that. David says, hello, Miss Mara. Mistress Mara. Sorry I was late. I was in Christmas shopping and things got a little bit crazy. I know. Get your stuff done now or order online like I do because I have no patience for doing things in person. I haven't been to a mall like to shop in ages. Like I don't do any shopping in malls. Unless, you know, a sub is funding my shopping experience, then that's different. But that hasn't happened since pre-pandemic. Adam says at J. Graham, I imagine accountants would be good at counting the number swats from Mistress Mara's paddle. Surprisingly, finance people, tech people, you would think these people would be good with numbers, but no. They get too distracted with other things during session. Some of them, very few of them are able to count and remember. And we get to 100 and then start over or keep going. Hella Swanky asks, do you ever deal with body image issues during doing this line of work/play? Thank you in advance. Yes, so over the course of the pandemic, I'm not going to lie, I probably gained about 30 pounds. So I used to look very thin. I worked for it. I went to the gym. I haven't been to the gym since since March of last year. And like, I'm not ashamed of how my body looks. This is how it is. And quite frankly, it's not that bad given the fact that I, you know, haven't done anything crazy. Like, I'm a little active in the sense where it's like, you know, I'll go hiking and whatever. But if you go to my portraits page, the dominamara.com/2020, those are from, you know, photo shoots from past years. And I've gotten people mentioning things about my weight and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, I gained weight. Like, I will be doing something about it next year, but I don't think that should take away from my dominance, my personality, and my skill level. If it's a preference where people don't want to submit to me anymore, that's kind of insane to me that would make them change their mind, but it's not, you know, unreasonable, I guess. And I've mentioned it during the pandemic, you know, on my social media and how it's just a natural thing. Like, as you get older, you're going to gain weight no matter what. And I feel like, you know, it's up to you to decide like the things you want to do to change that, or people can just accept it and accept you for who you are. And like I said, you know, the skills and what you bring to the table as a person should be a force on its own. So I do have people who have mentioned it to me, but I don't play with those people. And then I've also had people who said I didn't change much or that I'm perfect. So, I mean, beauty is so subjective. But in an entertainment industry, looks are gonna matter. What's says, I promise this pup of yours will keep donating once I'm stable with my finances. This pup needs to become a dog of Miss Mara. Looking forward to it. Steven says, in nearly every submissive streams, we all probably get unlimited swats, or probably until you can't take it anymore. Thank you for that. Oh, Sad Communist says, thank you for that interesting answer. Weasel says, okay, I have to head out. Thank you for the entertaining stream and conversation, Miss Mara. Thanks for joining. I hope to see you again soon. Ricky says, shout to me. It's my birthday. Happy birthday. Steven says, there are a couple of female video game characters I'd love to get an OTK spanking and paddling from, including 1999 Resident Evil 3, Jill Valentine, and Sniper Wolf from Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, I mean, I saw Resident Evil recently and totally get the vibes from Jill Valentine. But yeah. And let's see. David says, oh yeah, I saw your interview and you look good with red. Thank you. Yeah, red is a very strong and powerful color. Amy says, Mistress Mara is always looking stunningly beautiful with heart emoji eyes. Thank you. Jay Graham says, about body image, you look better than ever. Aw, thanks guys. I appreciate it. I do try to take care of myself. It's just, you know, when you're not as physically active as you used to be, things change. So SH says, are there any California legislative state bills in motion to decrib SW? I heard somebody was in the works for like trying to make things happen, but I haven't really seen progress on it as of yet. So I don't know. I would hope that there is. In certain parts of Nevada, I think it is legal. So, Sad Communist says, what's your opinion on MJ consumption? I think it's a medicinal plant and that it actually does help scientifically. It's scientifically proven. I wouldn't use it for a means to escape. I don't personally find it like great besides being a stress reliever or something to help you sleep. But that's my personal opinion. And I haven't, you know, it just makes me sleepy and hungry. So Amy says, what are you wearing to the dawn party you are going to tonight? I haven't decided, but I may wear something in theme of, you know, the holidays. Either red or green. That's kind of what I've always worn. So all right. Let's see. Adams, but you guys will see a photo, of course. Adam says, body image is hard for people in any lifestyle. Best fortune of you in the new year, Mistress Mara. Lost almost 30 pounds myself with the now lost diet. Same one Jennifer Hudson used. Oh, very nice. Yeah, I mean, once I start like dance again, dance and yoga were my top like methods. Oh, also, and HIIT were my top methods of exercise. So once I start that again, I'm sure I'll shed. But for now, I'm just trying to level up my online presence, and then hopefully in the new year, things will start getting back to the way they were. Because this year I wasn't even sure if things were going to open 100%, and my gym closed again during this year. So I was like, I'm not going to subscribe to this, knowing that there's like an on and off chance. So I'd rather wait. So yeah, next year, definitely. I don't really have New Year's resolutions, but this is going to be one that I'm going to do because I love dance and I love my instructor, and I want to get back into it because I want to also expand my Goddess Mara channel and my endeavors in that. So Steven says, body shaming is an ugly thing to do to someone in the cosplay community. It's looked at the same as to top from the bottom, and maybe even worse than that. I would think it's worse, honestly. Topping from the bottom is just like, it's expected that some people would do it, but body shaming is just like, sometimes you just can't control. Like, you can't control what body you were given at birth. Like, you can't control the genetics that you have in your body that'll change your metabolism from one thing to another. Like, there's pills that you can take, there's exercises you can do, but at the end of the day, it's literally a lottery that you were given, you know? And like, beauty has been such a scrutinized industry, you know, throughout the years. And again, it's so super subjective. One thing that somebody might like is so different from something that somebody else likes. There can be appeal to many people, which is why there's popularity. That happens, but Hella Swanky says, exactly, bodies change, weight gain is usually inevitable as we age unless we are intentional about preventing it. Wondered how that might impact one's mental health. I think you look perfect, by the way. Oh, thank you. I mean, when I'm gonna tell you guys flat out, honestly. There was somebody who wrote to me during the pandemic when things were opening up again. I don't know if it was this year, I think it was. And they were like, you know, I've been following you for so long and I really wanted to have a session with you. And then all of a sudden you're overweight. And I was like, it wasn't all over a sudden. It was like my body changed over the course of the year. And they were like, I don't want to session with you anymore. I don't think it's attractive, blah, 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 blah. And they said all these like really nasty things. And I was just like, okay, then I'm not the person for you. And even though I knew that, it still hurt. It still felt like it made me feel crappy for the day. But at the end of the day, I was just like, also, you had all that other time to session with me. Why are you stating this now? Like, now that you are ready to session with me and now that things are opening back up after the pandemic lockdown thing, like now it's an issue, like doesn't make any sense. I was like, maybe it's because you couldn't afford it. And you need something to blame. I don't know. Kenneth says, you look good. You have that personality that will hypnotize a person into submission. Thank you. Steven says, what people should understand, not saying they do, but keyword should understand is, medically speaking, that's considered a good body weight for me. What's considered a good body weight for me isn't the same as what someone 6'4" or 5 foot should be. Yeah, exactly. That too. Like, if you're proportionate, if you're healthy, like if you live a healthy lifestyle, if you're looking after your well-being, like, that's all you could really ask for. And honestly, it's to your benefit, because at the end of the day, you're gonna be aiming for your longevity in life. Not anybody else. No one else is gonna take care of your body for you. Watsal says, after watching your streams and after gathering bits of courage, I finally am okay with being called a sub publicly to a mistress. Oh, that's great. I love that. Jay Graham says, your catsuit yoga clip was incredible. Thank you. It was very hot and sweaty though. Not comfortable. Sad Communist asks, what's my zodiac sign? Hey, greetings from Germany. It's snowing here. I am a Leo. Lunar and solar Leo. So I was born as a Leo in August. And then my rising sign is Capricorn, cusp with Aquarius. You guys, if you guys watch my leather gloves, I painted my zodiacs on there. But yeah. I know a lot of doms who are Leos as well. Hamada says, my mistress, I want to be a sub under your feet. Apply. Hella sweaty, wow. Hella swanky. I think I'm sweaty. Says, so true. You're absolutely right. The beauty industry survives and thrives on our insecurities. Yeah. And they're putting literally people who have the fastest metabolisms up in the top 1% tier. So Jay Graham says, for what it's worth, I have lack of confidence in my self-image, but every time I film, I look great in clips. well, then you can watch yourself in those clips to remind yourself of how good you look. And that's kind of crazy, like how much of a body dysmorphia like the beauty industry has given to us, especially women. Like, I thought I was chonky like 5 years ago or whatever when I was doing clips. And I'm looking back at those clips now because I'm uploading them to other sites, and I'm like, wow, like I would kill for my body now. Like, that's crazy that I used to think that I was chonky then, you know? It's so strange. Steven says, in regards to that, even my doctor's office, they have a chart based on how tall or short you are. This is how much would be considered a healthy body weight, but it's a relative thing. Yeah, 100%. Your BMI is actually what you should be measuring, your body mass index, because that'll tell you how much percentage of fat you have for your weight, your height, your age, and everything. Steven says there's no magical universal number to where if someone weighs above, they're overweight. Yeah, so when I was fit, I used to weigh a lot, and that's because it was all muscle. And I was like, how are you gonna compare that to somebody who weighs the same as me, who is shorter than me, but, you know, doesn't exercise? Like, my muscle mass was awesome. Hamoda is asking what my shoe size is. I'm a size 8 or a 39 in European. David is asking, do I have plans for Christmas? Yes, I am going to Portland for Christmas to New Year's with family, and then I'm also available for sessions there. Somebody is already asking me for a session. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'll have time, but I might. I might make room for them, make time. Jay Graham says, Leo too, snap. Snap. Steven says, you definitely look to me like you're an A-okay physical shape to be a mistress, if that makes you feel any better. I'm sorry that person acted that way towards you over circumstances beyond your control. It's fine. Thank you. I appreciate it. Logan is asking, do you like spicy food? I do. Although, as I'm getting older as well, I'm finding that I'm not able to take as spicy anymore, unfortunately, which really sucks because I really love spicy. I love the taste. I don't like the heat necessarily. It's about the taste that comes with the heat. Cool Man says, hi. Hi. What'sell says, just imagine the smart of those people wanted to submit to you, so they're already below you. It's true. That's what a dynamic definition really is. Hella Swanky says, overweight? Where? How? Not even. They didn't deserve your time and didn't need to announce all that. Your inbox isn't the airport. The airport. Rolling eyes face. Likely they just wanted to say all that and had no idea, no intention of booking. Yeah, I feel the same. Like I mentioned, I don't think they probably could afford me, and they were just getting their anger out or their stress out. SH says, overcoming body shaming is one reason I like Eckhart Tolle. His videos really help me. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's kind of why I have the whole Goddess Mara channel as well, and the whole Goddess Mara entity is because people are going to look up to you regardless if you are meant for them. Like, I have seen beautiful women with like sagging folds, and I still think they're goddesses in their own right. You know, that might not be the conventional beauty of things, but I even had a fetishist that was requesting me if I knew any girls who looked a little thicker, like bears. He called them bear-like because that was his aesthetic. Like, that's what he was like, you have conventional beauty and I love sessioning with you, but if you could find anyone else who is female who has more of like a bare, stockier type of thing. And he was a very thin, very physically trained guy, and that's what he liked. And I was like, more power to you, you know? More power to the women who look like that he was attracted to. Okay. Kenneth says, do you have another girl to work with or do you work alone? If you mean doing doubles with, or if you mean like a sub that I bring, I can do those things. Double domination is not usually common because you literally have to pay 2 people. But I have people that I definitely love playing with. And if a person is serious about that type of session, then we definitely have conversations about that. But typically I do work independently. Hello Swanky says, I also recognize I come from a culture in which thicker is seen as better for more beautiful. Admittedly, I'm biased. And that's the thing too, it's cultural. Like, some people love skinny Asians because Asians are usually very skinny. Well, I'm a mixed Asian and I have curves, like, naturally. So I have Filipino in me, and I have a booty, and I have, you know, a size C cup naturally. So that's what I was born with, and that has worked to my advantage. And it's really funny because when my mom sees me and my cousins who are just full Chinese, they're very flat in one area or 2, and she's just like, wow, there's a big difference between you guys. Like, you guys barely look related. And I was just like, I mean, that's the thing, like, you know, it's a cultural thing too. Okay. Priscilla says, yeah, BMI is BS because it doesn't take into account a lot of important things, or it's only measuring like what the computer has inputted for it, right? Like, it's not taking into consideration other genetics or other hereditary things that might like mess with metabolism, etc. Unless you're plugged in, like those like treadmill things that like plug into all aspects of you, I feel like that's the most maybe accurate thing. But those are like bajillion-dollar machines, so. Adam says, anyone who would want to leave your service just because of a few pounds, it's their loss. I shave my head, and although I'd rather have a good head of hair, I still walk with confidence. Yeah, man. Heck yeah. Watsal says, if I would have been there, I would have given you a hug, but since subs can't, so little bit feet kissing would do, I guess. Thanks, I appreciate the sentiment. Hello Swanky says that Priscilla, yeah, I've been reading and hearing more and more that BMI is outdated due to several factors. Weight is just not a predictor of health. Right. Logan says, what is your favorite animal? Oh, I love cats. But I also love dolphins, and I also love owls. I love all animals. I love dogs too, like wolves, like wolf-looking dogs. I have an aesthetic, but I love a lot of animals, except for alligators and crocodiles, because most of the time they're serial killers. And I know because I've seen the biggest and largest ones and most evil ones, and they're in the Philippines. Steven says they were probably upset or salty that they couldn't pay your services and were trying to make up a reason for it to be someone else's fault instead of their own fault. That's nothing new. At my job, I had a Karen Blake blame me for there being a sales tax on tobacco products when a pack of Marlboro was $8.04 plus sales tax. Cigarettes are expensive. They're a very expensive vice to have. But yeah, it really sucks that people, like, because they have no one else to blame, so they blame you, and you're the only one there. So they're like, oh, well, easy pickings, I guess. Jay Graham says, large body or small body, we all have our attributes. 100%. I knew people who have very attractive features. Like, there's always good in somebody. Like, this one person thought they were super unattractive, and you wouldn't think that they had like features that were conventional, because they kind of they had a big forehead and like really sharp jaw lines and stuff like that. But their eyes were amazing. Like the color of their eyes and the lashes were natural. And I was like, whoa, man, like I could get lost in those for hours. Who cares about the rest of the stuff? Your eyes are amazing. And of course, the eyes are the windows to the soul. So I'm a very firm believer of that. And yeah. Midas says, hi, hello. Steven says, what about double dom in a sense, like having a couple come to you and the submissive person wants you to help with his or her partner or dom them? Super common. Like I always either co-top, so it's usually a guy who's another dom or or he wants to be the sub and wants me to train his significant others so that we can both co-top, or she can learn from me and do that for him in their private lives. Really, really common. I think it's less common to have both of them want to submit to you all the time. Hella Swanky says, yep, that's genetics for ya. Indeed. Amy says, for you to become a dom, have you ever been a sub yourself? No. I've bottomed because that's the conditions that the house that I started at told me to do that. But I would never say that it was submission because I'm not a sub at all. Okay, let's see. SH says, nobody is more lovely than you, Miss Mara, smiley face. Thank you. Appreciate that. The Nomad Photographer says, you were great and soft white underbelly. Thank you. And hello. Yeah, all my live streams are kind of like that where, you know, people will ask me certain things and we'll talk about it, whether it has to do with kink or not. And we have a lot of fun. It's very like candid and like I learn a lot from just engaging with other people and people learn a lot from me. So I think it's a really, really great exchange. SH says, your recent Goddess Mara performance videos show a heavenly goddess body. Smiley face. Thank you. Yeah, if you guys should go check out my other YouTube channel. It's this. If you like dance, I also have fire in there, fire play, which I offer in my dominant services. So yeah. Jay Grams says, okay, it's past midnight here in London, bedtime. If you visit the UK next year, I hope you session. So go ahead and go to dominamara.com and scroll all the way to the bottom and you sign up for my newsletter. I always send out updates for my travel. I also have a travel page and you can check to see all the other places that I've ever been to. And yeah. Oh, I guess I have to put the HTTP. Man. There. So sign up for my newsletter so you know where I am. Steven says, I still feel like an amateur. I never had a class, but I'd like to learn though, doing instead of only observing, and sometimes just casually with other people interested in it too. Yeah, that's called lifestyle. Steven says, I had a girl once make me do all the stuff to her that I like having done to myself, just so she could get a better idea of what I'm into. Yeah, usually if a dom is new, experienced subs will train the dom that way. What Sal says, it does feel good to pay a goddess. Thank you, Miss Mara. Thank you. I appreciate every little bit. Every little bit always helps. Steven says, that felt kind of awkward at first, but if I have to be willing to give an order, I have to be willing to give in order. I have to be willing in order to give, to receive. I don't consider that request unreasonable. Got it. Bruce gives lots of flames and fire and a purple heart and more fire. David says, I once had a dog. I didn't. I've never had pets, which is really sad. But that's because my mom is allergic to a lot of things. And I moved a lot. So once I settle down, I probably will adopt some furry creatures. David says, what an amazing lady you are. Beautiful, dominant, and a great personality. You are perfection. Please visit the UK. Yes, sign up for my newsletter on dominamara.com so you know when I'm visiting. I'll probably be in London, so. Adam says, interesting. Were you hesitant to bottom, or did you know it was a house condition going in? So I wasn't hesitant because I didn't know how to use any of the implements and I didn't know how any of it felt. Like, I thought it was reasonable for them to give this condition because I had no personal or professional experience. And I learned really quick. And guess what? Within 3 to 6 months, I was already a switch. I already graduated to being a top. So it didn't really matter. I just had to prove it to them that I could take it and that I could also facilitate it. What Saul says, you're sweet. So it's really hard to imagine you being rude or dominant in session. Sorry, ma'am. It's not about being rude. It's about being authoritative. If that makes sense. Like, being mean isn't necessarily being a bee. It's about how I can manipulate the situation so that another person is like, doesn't know what to do and has to follow me. Amy is asking, do I have any mistresses I look up to? Yeah, of course. I feel like it's always good to have a good role model and somebody who's been in the industry and seen for a very long time. And I think that it's healthy for that, you know, for people to have that and to gauge, like, you know, what they're doing. Don't necessarily compare too much so that, like, it becomes a critique, but, like, be aware of who is out there and do research and see what's been done before and what you can do, etc. Do differently or similarly, or take what they've done and make it your own, kind of thing. And David says, I've always wanted to go to London. Same. Steven says, just curious. Yeah. Being called those somehow has kind of become a kink for me. Oh, gotcha. Nice. Amy says, have you ever been to Scotland before? If so, where? No, I haven't been to the UK at all. So I would love to. I would love to go visit the Highlands. David says, question, do you like Harry Potter series? I do. I read the first 4 books and then the movie started coming out. So I was like, I'll just watch those instead. But I mean, obviously there's differences, and I really love witchcraft and magic. That's obviously kind of in the vein of, but yeah. Okay, we have gone over time, like 4 hours, but I had so much fun connecting with my regulars and also all of you new people. And I will be back on, probably not for the rest of the year, I don't think, because next week I am putting on, maybe the 18th. So every other weekend I'm going to do a premiere of a video, and then other weekends I'm going to live stream. But I will be headed to Portland on the 22nd, so that'll be the last of it. And yeah, Amy says, I'm from the west coast of Scotland. Stunning scenery. Ting! I can imagine. Steven says, are we going to have to wrap it up for today then? Yes, because I have to go use the restroom and start getting ready for, well, dinner and then going to the party afterwards. So, Kenneth says, thank you. Nom de plume says, you are a Botticelli goddess. Thank you. What's all says goodbye, Miss Mara. I guess this is time to go. Thank you from your wannabe pet. Thank you for subscribing. I will look out for my new Mara emoji. I'm going to be putting that out this weekend. Hella Swanky says, how else can we tip you? I was just trying to figure out the super chat thing, but you're getting off. So I have Cash App, and then I have Amazon gift cards. You can send that to me as well. Actually, tipping me offline is probably the best because, you know, YouTube does take a cut. So this works. Amazon gift card to, let's see, this email works as well. So yeah, thank you for asking though. Adam says, good night, Mistress Mara, have fun, thank you. Hella Swanky says, thank you so much for giving so much of your time and answering so many questions. Yeah, no worries. Thank you for joining. And yeah, I will see you all next time. Mwah. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend.